On the night of October 10th, Kushina Uzumaki gave birth to a baby boy when a masked man Zga appeared out of nowhere. Taking advantage of the woman's position, he unleashed a nine-tailed demon and then subdued him with his gaze. At that moment, Kushina told her husband Minato Uchiha everything. The latter immediately set out to fight the man. When he approached the masked man, he immediately began to ask, "Hey, who are you, why did you do that?" Minato asked questioningly. "I'm Madara, I just wanted to wipe this pathetic village off the face of the earth," said the masked man with mockery. Because of you many people will suffer," said Minato. "I really don't care," said the man. After saying that, Minato threw 3 shurikens at him, but they went right through him. Minato was surprised, but he threw another shuriken and started to create a Rasengan in his hand. The shuriken pierced the masked man, but Minato used the "Flight of God" technique, then stepped behind him and hit him in the back with the Rasengan. The masked man disappeared after this hit and Minato teleported to Kushina. "Kushina, we need to seal the demon in our son," Minato said. "But, I don't want that kind of life for our son. You know how hard life is for a Jinchuriki. And if we are not around, he will be swallowed by the darkness of the fox," Kushina said indignantly. "I'm afraid we have no choice. We'll have to seal it in our son. I ask you to take care of him. I know you have about 5 years left to live, but I want you to take care of him, and when the Sharingan awakens, give him my eyes and open our library." "Goodbye, Kushina," Minato said. Then he invoked the god of death and with the courage of his life he sealed the demon inside his son. "Goodbye Minato, I will always love you. I promise I will take care of our son until I die and teach him everything I can," Kushina said. The third Hokage, the elder Hiruzen Sarutobi, was watching. "Goodbye, Minato," said the third elder. Kushina at the same time sealed Minato's eyes, then approached the Hokage. "Hokage in person, I want to ask you to take care of Naruto when I die," Kushina said, after which she went home with her son. "Of course Kushina, I will take care of him," said Sarutobi with a smile. 4 years later. The boy turned 4 today. It was already night outside and he was running home from the library. He had dark red hair that reached down to his belly, blue eyes the color of the sky, 3 stripes on each cheek and a kind smile. Everyone in town knew there was a 9-tail in the boy. That's why they looked at him obliquely and unkindly, as if they were about to kill him, but no one risked touching him, because they knew his mother was Kushina Uzumaki. But not now. As the boy ran to meet him, 3 drunken shinobi came out. "Look, it's our demon," shouted one of them. "Yes, he's the reason my family is dead," said the other angrily. "Let's teach that demon a lesson," muttered a third. "Gladly," said the 2 at the same time. After these words, they began to beat the boy. He couldn't stand up to the adults, although he was quite strong for his age. Kushina trained her son. She had managed to help Naruto detect chakra and had taught him basic techniques and how to walk on trees and water. The boy was also very cultured, but it was clear that his skills were not enough to face 3 adult shinobi. "What have I done to you? Let me go, stop it," shouted the boy with tears in his eyes. "I have done nothing to you. Our families have suffered because of you, demon," shouted one of them. Suddenly an Anbu appeared and stopped him. He wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Kushina. Suddenly Naruto's Sharingan woke up and he ran towards his house. "Why did you stop us? It's a demon," shouted one. "He shouldn't live," shouted another. "I would have let him be beaten to a pulp, but Kushina Uzumaki would have killed me," replied the Anbu and disappeared. When the boy came running home, Kushina realized that her Sharingan had awakened and understood that the time had come to leave this world. The boy ran to his mother and began to cry, hugging her. Kushina smiled. "It's time to say goodbye my boy," Kushina said with a smile. "Be strong and never give up. I'm sure you will become very strong and my father and I will accept whatever path you take, for it will be the right one." Kushina added. What does it mean to say goodbye? "Don't leave me alone mom, please," Naruto said. He wanted to say something else, but Kushina put a seal of submission on him that would disappear after his death and ordered her son to kill her. The boy was conscious and felt everything, but his body didn't listen to him. Kushina stood up smiling. Forgive me, my son. Kushina said, and then a knife stabbed into his heart. After that the seal disappeared and a Mangekyo Sharingan awoke in Naruto's eye. He started sobbing and knelt down in front of his mother's body. Why? The boy cried out. He saw that Kushina was holding some kind of diary. Opening it, he saw a message. If you are reading this, then I am already dead and you have awakened Mangekyo. In this diary you will find everything you need. It also tells you how to access the secret library of the Uzumaki clan, which my clan collected, and your father Minato Uchiha added to it. I know how people feel about the Jinchuriki, and if you choose the path of revenge and hatred against this world, we will accept it. Also in that library, you will have a gift from your father. Know that we love you, Naruto. Read with tears in his eyes the boy. Secret library. After Naruto read the message, he fell fainted, because the Mangekyo woke up. At that moment, Tsunade decided to visit them, as she was the boy's godmother and got along very well with his family. She was passing by at the time, but when she knocked on the door of the house no one answered. Along with Tsunade was Shizune. Perhaps they are not at home, Tsunade herself. Shizune said. That can't be, Kushina doesn't leave her house right now, for lack of strength. Said Tsunade. And the girl must already be asleep. Tsunade herself, you are not going to break down her door. Shizune said quietly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Tsunade said with a smile and then smashed the door with her fist. Seeing Kushina with a knife in her heart and the boy unconscious, Tsunade immediately fainted, but Shizune caught her in time. She dragged Tsunade to the couch and carried the boy to her room, where she laid him on the bed. She didn't touch the diary, but was very curious about what was in it, but decided that the boy would tell her all by himself. After that he went to sleep. Tsunade woke up and found the boy lying next to her, who apparently had come in the morning. He was crying, but now he was asleep again. Tsunade just hugged him and waited for him to wake up. Shizune went to prepare breakfast in the meantime, but they were still in shock from yesterday's scare. Half an hour later, breakfast was ready and Tsunade decided to wake the boy up. When the boy woke up, he saw Tsunade, and cried loudly, clinging to her. Tsunade began to calm him by stroking his head. Shizune also approached the boy. After 10 minutes he calmed down a little. And they went to the table. The women decided not to rush the boy as he should tell everything himself. After breakfast they went to the living room where they all sat down and the boy sat with Tsunade leaning on her. Tsunade smiled. Tsunade-sama, I want to tell you everything that happened. Naruto said nervously. Okay, we will listen to everything. Tsunade said. The boy began to tell everything that happened yesterday and showed the Mangekyo, telling about the library. After which he started crying loudly, burying his face in Tsunade's chest. Tsunade felt a little embarrassed and wanted to slap Naruto, but remembered that he was just a little boy who needed support and squeezed him even tighter. Naruto, I want to tell you something. I'm sure it's written in the diary, but your mother was a Jinchuriki, but after extracting the Biju the Jinchuriki dies, but your mother, because of the Uzumaki genes, lived to protect you for 4 years. That's why she did that, and the nine-tailed one is now sealed completely inside you. Tsunade said. Because of that, my mother and I were constantly insulted and persecuted behind my back. That's why my mother didn't want me to walk around the village. She wanted to protect me. Naruto said sadly. Naruto, do you know what kind of gift your father left? Tsunade asked. In the diary it was written that they were his eyes and that I need to transplant them. It also says why. Said Naruto. I see, in transplanting the eyes Shizune and I can help. Can we visit this library? Tsunade asked. In the diary it says that only those who do not want to take anything from it can visit it. Said the boy, but if you want to take anything from books or documents that are not for you, you will die. Naruto added. I see, it's just a defense against thieves. Said Shizune. Besides, there the time passes 5 times slower. If here a year passes, there are 5. Said the boy. It's decided, we'll go with you to get your eyes, then we'll transplant them, and then we'll leave Konoha. They don't like us here either, and we'll never come back. We have spotted a house in the hidden mist, and its Mizukage is an old friend of ours with whom we have a good relationship. Tsunade said. Well, then let's go, said Naruto. After that they followed the instructions that were described in the diary. They found a hidden place in Naruto's house, and in a certain bloody place they opened a secret door to the library. This door could not be detected with their eyes, and once they entered it closed immediately. When they entered, the Anbu who was guarding Naruto panicked. He didn't realize what had happened as he was distracted. He then went to the third Hokage and reported everything to him. Hiruzen was shocked by the story and ordered to double the surveillance on Naruto. Hiruzen treated Naruto like the rest of the population, with anger and hatred, because Kyuubi had killed his son and he only had his grandson left, whom he protected as best he could. Damn fox, what is he up to? Hiruzen said. In the library they found the eyes. The note said they would help awaken the eternal Mangekyo that would not blind Naruto. It also said how Minato loved his son and apologized for sealing the Kyuubi in him. They went to one of the rooms in the library and began preparations for the transplant. 10 minutes later, everything was ready. Tsunade and Shizune were ready. Naruto, are you ready for this? Tsunade asked. Yes, I am ready, my other mom. Naruto said with a smile. Good, then let's get started, son, said Tsunade, embarrassed. After saying these words, Tsunade injected Naruto with a sleeping pill. She took out his eyes, and inserted his father's eyes. He will be unconscious for 3 more hours. Tsunade said. Tsunade herself, he will be fine, his condition is perfect, said Shizune. Well then let's go, Shizune, said Tsunade. Then she left a note to Naruto with the address where he will be and will always be glad to see him and will be waiting for him to come. She gave him a kiss on the forehead and left with Shizune. They appeared in a sort of mountain range. They realized it was the library's way of protecting itself from others who didn't know it. 3 hours later Naruto woke up, his eyes hurt badly. When he got up he saw the note. As he read it he smiled. He began to walk around the library looking at it. He decided that he would stay here for 5 years, it would only be 1 year in his life anyway, and everyone in the village would be glad of his absence. He began to study the scrolls and books. He learned that the library had a special training ground where he could train. He studied all the history of this world, the techniques of his eyes, learned to use strong genjutsu, strong techniques, enhanced kenjutsu and taijutsu. Every day he performed his chakra-focused development training, chakra channels, 500 push-ups, squats and 100 laps around the training ground. He also wore 500 kilogram weights on his arms and legs. No one in the village noticed that Naruto was missing, only the Hokage was worried because the village weapons were missing. And so 5 years passed in the library and 1 year in the real world. Naruto came to have the same strength as a normal Junin. He had many techniques in reserve that he had not had time to learn. He also learned to use his Susanoo. He was small but his strength, durability, speed was superior to the others, but it was easy to use lightning elemental techniques. Naruto on the other hand mastered the elements of fire, wind, lightning and water. When he left the library, Naruto found himself at the shooting range, as did Tsunade and Shizune. He immediately realized why he was there, plus in all this time the nine-tailed man had not woken up. All the Anbu guarding Naruto's house sensed it and went to him. They immediately ordered Naruto to report to the Hokage. All right, but get out of here, Naruto said threateningly. The Anbu experienced a small cry of fear and disappeared. Naruto made his way to the Hokage, where Danzo and the elders were in his office. They were arguing about Naruto's behavior and what to do with him. They were at loggerheads and arguing, but then he walked in. The elder called. Naruto said in his normal voice. How dare you address the Hokage like that, you brat? Danzo shouted. Naruto, is that you? Asked Hiruzen. Naruto had grown up over the years. He looked like a 12-year-old boy and his hair was down to his knees. If it is me, why don't you look like yourself, or have you already buried me and rejoiced? Naruto said with a mischievous smile. It's not like that, we are glad you are alive, said Hiruzen. Or that your weapons are alive? Naruto asked calmly. The elders were startled by those words. Snot, how dare you talk to the elders like that? Danzo said. The same way they treat me. Naruto replied. If you called me to get me into the route, then I'm leaving because I'm not going there. Said Naruto. Hiruzen and Danzo were also surprised by what they heard. How do you know that? Hiruzen asked. Never mind, if that's all, then I'm out of here. Naruto said and then went to his house. Everyone there was shocked. Danzo started to get indignant, but Naruto had already left the office. As he walked home, he was met with many stares, as everyone had found out that he had killed his mother. This time Naruto arrived home normally, without any adventure, and went to sleep. Uchiha. Naruto woke up and decided to learn more about the chiefs of the other villages, so he went to the library. As he walked down the street he was getting blank stares as usual, which added even more hatred for those people. In the library there was one of the people who treated Naruto the same as the others, as he realized that the boy was not to blame or responsible for the actions of the nine-tailed demon, and he also liked him. And so Naruto arrived at the library. Hello Amaya, said Naruto with a smile. Naruto, it's you, said Amaya surprised. Yes, Deiko-san, I would like to read about other village chiefs and their families. Said Naruto. Wow Naruto, I thought you died, you have changed so much, you have become so big and handsome, where have you been all this time? Said Amaya embarrassed and blushing a little. Amaya, I am fine, and so are you, but you are blushing. Said Naruto with a smile. I'm fine, now I'll give you a book and go read. Ayame muttered. Okay. Said Naruto and took the book. I'm going now Amaya said Naruto. The girl blushed and abruptly turned around pretending to do something. I wonder what's wrong with her. Naruto said to himself. Naruto sat in a corner and began to study the book and started to learn all the characteristics of each of the villages. But when he came to the Hidden Mist village, he saw the daughter of the Mizukage. His heart began to beat very fast, sweat began to appear on his forehead. What is happening to me? Naruto said to himself. That's when he saw a picture of Terumi Mei. According to the information in the book she was now 16 years old. She had a very cute face, green eyes and long hair. Naruto immediately fell in love with her. It was decided that if he was going to run away from the village, he would go to this village. Tsunade and Shizune are also supposed to live there. If I go there, that village will become one of the strongest. If the book is right she will be the next Mizukage, I wonder if she will be as pretty as in the picture. Naruto reasoned to himself. Naruto even forgot about the fact that he was in Konoha, where everyone hated him. Amaya was surprised to see Naruto in that state, but she didn't ask him what was wrong because she knew he had an explosive temper and she was shy. After a couple of hours Naruto came out of his musings and came to his senses and remembered where he was. He approached Amaya and gave her back the book. Thank you Amaya I'm leaving. Naruto said smiling. Okay, bye Naruto. Said Amaya. Naruto went to an abandoned landfill to practice but Mei couldn't get over her astonishment. Naruto arrived at the training ground, he knew he was being watched. He couldn't study in this situation. Hey you, don't follow me when I'm practicing. Naruto shouted. At that moment a man with an Anbu mask appeared in front of him. Hey you, we are Anbu, don't you dare tell us what to do. We only obey the Hokage. If you do that again, we'll teach you a lesson. Said the crow-masked Anbu. Well, let's fight then, you're an Uchiha, aren't you? Naruto asked. How did you know that? Asked the crow-masked Anbu. You have too much self-esteem and you're too proud. Naruto said. Then you know that against a Sharingan with 3 Tomo you have no chance. Said Anbu activating the Sharingan. Is that so? Said Naruto activating the Mangekyo. What, from where? Anbu started to ask. Inheritance from my father and mother. Said Naruto sadly. But you know that even if you have it you have to know how to use it. Said the Anbu. Of course I have it flawless, because you didn't even realize you were in Genjutsu. Said Naruto smiling. I understand, I don't even have a chance, but what did you do to get the Mangekyo? Anbu asked surprised. My mother forced me to kill her. Naruto said in tears. I'm sorry, my name is Itachi Uchiha, come to the Uchiha district, To the main house tomorrow, my father and I won't mind talking to you. Itachi said, by the way, how old are you? Itachi asked further. Okay, I'll come, but if you or your father try to take me I'll kill you and I'm 5 years old. Naruto said in a serious voice. Itachi was very surprised at what he heard and then disappeared. Naruto decided that he wasn't going to train today. He decided to go get something to eat at Ichiraku Ramen. Naruto started to think that Itachi could be a good friend if everything went well. Naruto walked and reasoned. I'm still going to destroy this village, but I'll need to save some people, oh well, that will be later. Damn, I forgot to ask him how old he is, just wondering. He said to himself. As Naruto walked, passers-by tried to hurt him in any way they could, but Naruto dodged them all and could barely restrain himself from killing them all. But still he kept walking and realized that he was still very weak and could not take on the world. And so he arrived at the Ichiraku Ramen. Oh, Naruto, 5 servings for you as usual? Asked the elder Kyuki with a smile. Yes, old man, make them bigger today. Replying with a smile, Naruto said. While eating, he chatted in parallel with Kyuki and his daughter. After which he gave twice as much money as he needed. Naruto, but it's more than you need. Kyuki said in surprise. This is my thanks, for your kindness and your daughter. Said Naruto smiling. Thank you very much, Naruto. Shouted Kyuki. Kyuki's daughter blushed but said nothing. Naruto was heading home but 2 drunken chunin came out to meet him. Naruto wanted to pass by, but the 2 caught his attention. I'll have to teach them a lesson, just to see if I can hit like Tsunade. Naruto said to himself. Look, it's a demon. Said one of them. Yes, he is also a murderer, he killed his mother. Said the other one. If you don't want to get hurt, then go where you are going, otherwise you will meet my wrath. Naruto said loudly. The chunin laughed. You will teach us a lesson too. Said the chunin one by one. Because of their training Naruto was fast, plus the chunin were drunk so they were a little weaker. Naruto poured chakra into his fist, then ran after the chunin. He hit one in the back, the chunin flew 10 meters away and his bones were broken and he would be crippled for the rest of his life. Do you want to do the same? Naruto asked, grinning like a beast. No, please let me go. Said the chunin trembling. But Naruto decided that wasn't enough and broke his leg with a kick. That's it, you can go now. Naruto said laughing. After that Naruto went home. When he woke up he did all his exercises, ate and went to the Uchiha's house. Walking down the street Naruto was looked at with even more negativity by people. He tried to ignore it but he couldn't, it pissed him off. He arrived at the clan, but here they looked at him differently, with interest and hospitality. Naruto found the boss's house, knocked and a woman opened the door. You are Naruto, right? Itachi told me about you. I'm Makoto, let's have breakfast, come with us. Makoto said with a friendly smile. Thank you Makoto-san. Naruto said with a smile as he entered the house. At the table sat Itachi, his brother Sasuke, his father Fugaku and Makoto. Hello, said Naruto. Oh Naruto, hello, said Itachi. Hello Naruto, said Fugaku. Sasuke, however, remained silent. Naruto went back to breakfast, thanked Makoto and stayed talking to Fugaku and Itachi. Naruto, where did you get the Mangekyo from? Those eyes belong to the Uchiha clan. Said Fugaku. That's right, I have Uchiha clan genes from my father's side, Minato Uchiha, and Uzumaki genes from my mother's side. I got these eyes on my 4th birthday. While walking home I was beaten and my Sharingan awakened, then my mother used a seal to force me to kill her. So much for Mangekyo. Naruto replied. I see, so Minato is your father and you don't want to join our clan? Fugaku asked. No, I don't need him. Answered Naruto. I see, and your papers say you are 5 years old. Fugaku asked. Yes, but I'm going to talk to the academy teacher to let me attend for free, since I have nothing to do there. Naruto said. Aren't you planning to join the Anbu? Asked Fugaku. No, I'm not going to lick the Hokage's feet. Said Naruto. Alright, let's end this interrogation. Said Itachi smiling, but inside everything was burning. Naruto stayed with the Uchiha family until the evening. He got along well with Fugaku and Makoto. Itachi was starting to become friends with him, and Sasuke was just getting to know him. He wanted nothing to do with him. When night came he went home and went to bed, but he remembered that girl again and couldn't sleep for a long time. Fox. After a week living in Konoha, Naruto decided to go to the library for another year to learn more techniques. During that week he had met Shisui and had hit it off very well with Itachi, so Naruto decided to let him know. He trusted them as old acquaintances he had known since birth. He did his morning training and headed for the Uchichi neighborhood. There were stares at him along the way, but no one was trying to harm Naruto, as he had incapacitated several more pairs of shinobi during the week. When he arrived at Fugaku's house he knocked on the door. Sasuke opened it for him. "Oh Naruto, do you want something?" Sasuke asked. "Hello Sasuke, is Itachi home?" Naruto asked. "No, he's training with Shisui at his house," said Sasuke. "I see, okay thanks, I'm going," said Naruto and started to leave. "Goodbye Naruto-kun," Sasuke shouted. When he arrived at the training ground, he saw Shisui and Itachi discussing something. Itachi and Shisui also trusted Naruto and knew he wouldn't betray. As he approached the boys, he saw that they weren't wearing their faces. "Hey, is something wrong?" Naruto asked apprehensively. "Hey, we heard that damn Danzo is going to steal Shisui's eyes to take over Konoha in the future and we're wondering what to do. You can't go to the Hokage, he won't believe you without proof, and the clan won't get involved," Itachi said with sadness in his voice. "And you Shisui, what do you think?" Naruto asked. "I think we should go to the meeting with Danzo and give him a fight," Shisui said. "But he's very dangerous, and he's unlikely to go alone, there will surely be a root of Anbu with him," Naruto said. "Yes, Shisui is right, Danzo won't come alone," said Itachi. "But, there is no other choice," Shisui shouted. "Actually, we can try one option," Naruto said thoughtfully. The Uchiha looked at him immediately. "I have access to the secret library, I can send you there and I'll be reincarnated as you. When he realizes I'm not you, I'll try to escape and Itachi will help me with that. We can't risk your eyes, they have a very useful ability," Naruto finished. "In principle we can try," said Shisui. "Yeah, I don't mind trying either, it's the only option for now anyway," said Itachi hopefully. "Well, then that's what we'll do, but I want to warn you, if the library senses that you want to steal something, it will kill you immediately and the time passes 5 times faster there," Naruto said. "I understand what you mean," Shisui said. "But how can I get to you without being seen?" Shisui asked. "Reincarnate as a woman and come with me to the house. Of course it's a little strange, but I'll explain it as, you're a maid, well, and there as it goes," Naruto said with a smile. "Okay, I agree," said Shisui. "Well then, I'll wait for you at the stall tonight," said Naruto. "I understand," said Shisui. "Well, when is your meeting with Danzo?" Naruto asked. "Tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the clearing behind the forest," said Itachi. "Okay then see you Shisui and bye Itachi," said the redhead and left. When evening came Naruto arrived at the ramen and saw Shisui there. He approached her and struck up a conversation. "Oh hello Aoko Taian, how are you, as we agreed," said Naruto smiling. "Hello Naruto-kun, let's go," said the girl embarrassed. The Anbu didn't realize what was happening but they didn't give it importance. Naruto and Shisui walked and talked, the fears and doubts of the Anbu were left behind. When they arrived at the house Naruto and Shisui created a clone each and hid their chakra. Naruto for his part put up a barrier, but one that you could see the chakra through, but you couldn't see anything. Shisui's clone talked to Naruto's clone and at the same time they cleaned each other. Naruto for his part took Shisui to a secret place and then explained everything there was to know. Shisui nodded and started to follow the instructions. "Alright, good luck to you and Itachi, I'll be waiting for you with good news," Shisui said with a smile. "Yes, everything will be fine," said Naruto. Then Shisui fulfilled the last point of the instruction and disappeared. Naruto competently changed his clone and replaced Shisui's clone with his own. After cleaning up, Naruto and his clone went to bed. The Anbu didn't see anything strange about him, they thought he was just a maid. Shisui, meanwhile, began to study the scrolls with their elemental techniques. In the morning Naruto and his clone woke up. He ordered the clone to prepare breakfast, then to go somewhere in the city. When he realized he was no longer being followed, he would go out to have fun. The clone did so. Everything was going smoothly. Naruto knew that no one was following him during the day, since Itachi had assumed that role. Naruto did not rush to go see Itachi. He prepared all his equipment for the fight with Danzo. Naruto reincarnated, went to the appointed place. In a couple of seconds Danzo appeared. "Why did you call me, Danzo-sama?" Naruto asked in Shisui's body. "To protect the village and some plans I need your people," said Danzo. "What?" shouted Naruto questioningly. "You don't have my eyes." Naruto said affirmatively. "We'll see more, we'll see," Danzo said quietly. At that moment Itachi was taking care of Danzo's root squads. Due to the surprise, Itachi took care of everyone quickly. The last unit was left, but they realized that someone had killed everyone else. Since they couldn't communicate, in this situation they jumped towards Danzo. And behind them came Itachi. Danzo and the Anbu were surprised at what they saw when they saw Naruto and Itachi. Danzo himself, apparently they somehow found out about everything and hid Shisui, and Itachi killed everyone else, reported one of the Anbu. "I see," Danzo shouted nervously. "Well, there's only 2 of them, so it's a good addition to the route," Danzo said as he took off his bandages. "You're not going to make it," Naruto shouted, activating his Mangekyo. "Oh, you have just the eyes I need," said Danzo. "You, take care of Itachi," ordered Danzo's Anbu. "Hi," said the 3 of them. "Let's have some fun," said Naruto as he took off his weights. A taijutsu fight broke out between Danzo and Naruto, and after a while it turned into a kenjutsu fight. Neither would yield to the other. Their fight was like a dance, but Naruto with a deft move was able to break through Danzo's defense and cut off his head. But Danzo had one eye closed in his arm. "Izanagi," Danzo shouted. "I see, those eyes help him avoid death. He still has 5 eyes left. If this keeps up, I will lose," Naruto said to himself. Itachi was able to take on the Anbu. One he killed with a fireball, the others he treated with a Sharingan and defeated them by breaking a few ribs. And he turned to Naruto. At the same time Naruto used Rasengan to kill Danzo one more time, but he used Izanagi one more time. "There are 4 eyes left. We just have to kill him 4 more times and then we can finish him off," Naruto shouted. While Itachi distracted Danzo, Naruto created another Rasengan and used the Thunder God's flight to kill Danzo once more. Another one of his eyes closed. Danzo was getting very nervous. Naruto had half of his chakra left and Itachi barely had enough to hold his Sharingan. As Minato had left many different techniques, the Chidori technique of his student Kakashi was also there. Naruto had left the Thunder God's flying mark on Danzo last time. He teleported to him with a Chidori in his hand and stabbed Danzo. Danzo had 2 eyes left. He was already starting to fight with all his might. Itachi had no strength left and collapsed. Naruto realized he had to finish Danzo off as soon as possible. He activated his Susanoo. "And what can this weak little Susanoo do to me?" Danzo smiled and activated his Susanoo. Danzo found himself inside his Susanoo, but it was clumsy since it was so big. Naruto managed to destroy Danzo's Susanoo with 5 hits and then killed him again with his Susanoo. But Naruto's chakra was running low and he couldn't use any strong techniques as he was trying to finish Danzo off with large-scale techniques like Fireball, Water Dragon, Rasengan and Flight of the Thunder God. Suddenly Naruto found himself in a sewer and in front of him was a cage with a 9-tailed fox sitting in it. "You need my power, I can help you, just say it," Kyuubi said. "Yes, give me strength, I want to kill it," said Naruto. "Okay, you are too weak," Kyuubi said. Suddenly the chakra of a 9-tailed man began to appear around Naruto and 3 tails appeared behind him. Danzo realized that he couldn't win and was thinking about how to escape. Itachi realized that things were going badly, but there was nothing he could do. "I will kill you, Shimuro Danzo," Naruto said in a threatening voice. "I won't let you do it," said Danzo sentenced. After saying that, Naruto appeared behind Danzo with great speed and killed him again. Danzo had no eyes left for this technique. Naruto began to slowly approach Danzo, who lay exhausted on the ground accepting his fate. Naruto approached and ripped the man apart, first ripping off 2 of his arms. Danzo screamed in pain, but soon Naruto ripped his head off and Danzo was silent. Itachi was shocked by this act. He didn't believe Naruto could be so cruel. Then the chakra dissipated and Naruto fell to the ground from minor injuries and chakra depletion. After a while, Itachi carried the bloodied Naruto with his blood and Danzo to his house. Makoto started to panic at what she saw but quickly pulled herself together and started to help Naruto. Itachi for his part went to explain everything to his father. The father listened attentively to his son and understood everything. Itachi, you could have asked me for help, the whole clan would have supported you. You shouldn't have dragged Naruto into this, he's already having a hard time, and this will make it even harder for him. You do realize that he will be blamed for all this in front of the people. Fugaku said with a serious face. I'll try to talk to the Hokage and explain the whole situation, said Itachi. He won't listen to you, the Hokage hates him too, even if there is proof he will stand his ground. But I'm surprised what he's willing to do for his friends. He's willing to sacrifice himself despite how they treat him, but be prepared he will change after this event. Fugaku said with sadness in his voice. But why do you think that? Itachi asked. He's been storing up all his anger, but this will be the final step in breaking through that barrier of containment. You won't recognize him anymore, Fugaku said, patting Itachi on the shoulder. Are you sure, father? Itachi asked. Yes, unfortunately, the Naruto we knew no longer exists, besides the fox will push him into that, said Fugaku. I understand, father, said Itachi. After a couple of hours Naruto woke up, but Kyuubi's awakening brought out all the anger and rage. Naruto was struggling with this feeling and so far he was coping with it. He decided not to greet Itachi's family and went home. But while Naruto was unconscious, Itachi could not convince the Hokage and declared Naruto as a murderer. This was the final stage of Naruto's broken feelings. He became colder, more defiant, the smile disappeared from his face. Going up to the house he was greeted by Itachi with a smile, but seeing Naruto, Itachi remembered what his father had told him and realized he was right. Naruto, how are you? Asked Itachi with a smile. I'm fine. Shisui will be in the 6th rank now, go there, Naruto said coldly and indifferently. All the kindness and frankness were gone, now what was left was a shell of the old Naruto. Itachi realized he couldn't help it, see all the anger, all the bitterness, all the pain had consumed him and was gone. And the nine-tailed one inside just smiled, he was already thinking about how to get out of this boy. Naruto went to the library to tell Shisui that it was done and he could come back. Entering the library. Shisui, it's done, you can go, Itachi is waiting for you there, Naruto said coldly. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Asked Shisui. I'm fine, you can go, said Naruto with the same tone of voice. Shisui realized that something was wrong. He came out of the library and met Itachi and immediately started asking about Naruto. Itachi explained everything to him, from beginning to end. I see, we lost him after all, Shisui said sadly. The only thing that warmed Naruto's heart was the picture of Mei and the memory of Tsunade. So he decided to stay here in the library for 5 years. A meeting. Naruto had been in the library for 2.5 years now, according to the weather in that area. During that time Naruto had worked a lot on fuinjutsu and elemental techniques, some he had learned and some he had perfected. Ideally he had mastered the seals, he was particularly good at submission seals, but he didn't know how powerful they were in action, as he had no one to test them on. From the techniques he learned water shots, water spikes, scarlet mist, massive fire destruction. He also learned to use his Susanoo better and learned the abilities of his eyes, he could use them to subdue various living beings. He also tried many times to contact the nine-tailed man, but as soon as he entered his subconscious, the fox immediately kicked him out. So Naruto decided that it was safe to leave that place and that he needed to try some techniques. When he left the library he was immediately accosted by ANBUs who wanted to grab him already. Where have you been? Asked the Anbu in the monkey mask. It's none of your business. Naruto replied rudely. Are you from the root? He asked later. No, the root no longer exists. After Danzo's death it was dissolved. You have to go report to the Hokage yourself. Anbu said. Okay, I just want to check one thing. Said Naruto activating the Mangekyo. He tried to subdue the Anbu with his eye, but failed. It's okay, I can't subdue humans. Naruto said to himself. What are you doing, why did you activate the Mangekyo? Asked the Anbu preparing to fight. Hey, I'm not going to fight you. Said Naruto. After saying that, he immersed the Anbu in genjutsu and engaged in combat with the others. He wasn't going to kill them, he just wanted to test their seals. He fought them in taijutsu and defeated them quickly, then put a seal on each of them, but those seals robbed him of almost all his chakras since he hadn't trained with humans, but he wasn't surprised by the result. So, supposedly they will follow every order I say, and if they disobey or someone tries to break the seal, they will die and all their memory will be erased. Naruto said to himself. After putting the seal, the three Anbu lost consciousness. They woke up 10 minutes later, they were in the same training field and Naruto was in front of them. The Anbu didn't feel anything for Naruto and couldn't think of anything, they only knew that Naruto was their master and they had to do what he said. They quickly realized this and knelt down in front of him. Naruto-sama, what do you command? Said the Anbu, the leader of this team. You will behave as usual and serve the Hokage. You will not contact me, you will not kneel before me and you will provide me with all the data from the files about each Anbu and you will watch over the Hokage when you change with the others. Naruto said calmly. Is that clear? He asked later. Hi, Naruto-sama. Said the three of them and disappeared. Good, that's 3. This should be enough for now, the most important thing is that no one finds out, otherwise I'll have to act sooner than planned, and I have to get stronger now. In the meantime, I'll go see the Hokage. Naruto reasoned to himself. During their time in the library, Itachi and Shisui had come to terms with the fact that they had lost Naruto. Naruto, on the other hand, had doubled his training and had begun carrying a ton of weighted weights on each arm and leg. He walked around Konoha and, as usual, received oblique stares. It pissed Naruto off, because he didn't see a single person who didn't. Naruto looked like he was 14, despite being 5.5 and 11. After a few minutes Naruto arrived at the Hokage's residence and made his way to his office. He entered without knocking. As he opened the door he saw the Hokage and the elders, as well as the heads of the Uchiha and Nara clans. They all immediately turned their attention to him. What's the Hokage knocking for? If I'm not interested I'll leave. Naruto said. Naruto, where have you been these 6 months and why have you changed your appearance again? Asked Hiruzen. It is none of your business, and so I can say that I have been training. Naruto answered. And why did you call? He asked. We are deciding your future. Hiruzen replied. And what have you decided? Naruto asked with a chuckle. Naruto, the elders suggest sending you to prison and using the seal of submission on you. Fugaku suggests sending you to the Anbu, and Shikaku hasn't suggested anything yet. Hiruzen said looking at Shikaku. I haven't suggested anything because I need to think about it, not stand there and scream my choices in your face like grown-ups do. Shikaku said in a slightly elevated tone. Don't forget that he is also a human being and we have no right to decide for him his life. Our task was to protect him and leave him on the side of the village. But because of your behavior the Hokage herself and the attitude of the people, he is unlikely to protect this village and sooner or later he will run away. Shikaku continued. Okay, so Shikaku guesses my plans, for something he carries the burden of being one of the smartest men in the village. Naruto said to himself. Yeah, how dare you talk to me like that? Rising from the table, Hiruzen shouted. I apologize, Hokage himself. Kneeling down, Shikaku said. The elders and Fugaku stared at the two of them. If that's all, I'll be going. Naruto said turning around. Stop right there. Hiruzen shouted. You wanted to tell me something. Naruto turned around and looked at him with an intimidating look. Hiruzen realized that there would be no dialogue and this could turn into a fight, but Hiruzen didn't want to arrest him either. No, You can go. Hiruzen said. Okay. Naruto said. As soon as he left, in the office they started shouting and arguing about what to do next. Naruto ignored them and headed to the training ground to try to contact the fox. He arrived at the training ground and sat down to meditate. After a while he was able to enter his subconscious and headed towards the cage where the fox was sitting. What do you want, boy? Said the fox. So this is what a demon looks like in person. Naruto said. You're funny, aren't you even afraid of me? Asked the fox. Why should I be afraid of you? You're sitting in a cage and you can't do anything to me. Naruto said. Doc, what do you want? Said the fox. I need your strength. Said Naruto. Then break the seal. Said the fox smiling. No, I know you will take over my body. Said Naruto. Yes, I will kill you right away, because it was you Uchiha who subjugated me and then sealed me inside you. Said the fox angrily. I see, but you know I can use my eyes to subdue you. Naruto said. Oh you, how dare you, I will kill you. Shouted the fox, then threw Naruto out of his subconscious. I see, so he's afraid of my eyes, I don't want to use them. I'll have to talk to him another time and he must have a name since he was created by the sage of the six paths, I'll have to find out. Naruto said to himself. How dare he mention his eyes, damn Naruto. The fox muttered. After this conversation Naruto started passing chakra through his channels and doing his usual daily exercises. 30 minutes later, an Anbu appeared in front of him. Naruto immediately noticed it and prepared to fight, but realized that it was his subordinate. Naruto-sama, I have information for you. Said the Anbu. I hope it's a clone. Naruto asked. Yes, it is a clone. Anbu replied. Okay, report. Naruto said. During the surveillance we learned that Mizukage and his daughter will arrive in the village in 3 days. Said Anbu. Naruto's heart began to beat rapidly and he began to worry. Well, thank you for the information, you are free to go. Naruto said holding back his emotions. Hi. After saying that, the clone dispersed. So, it turns out Mei is coming, I'll have to meet her, I hope she's as beautiful. Naruto said to himself blushing. Well, we should get back to training. Naruto said afterwards. But because of this information Naruto couldn't concentrate on anything, all thoughts were focused on her, the techniques didn't work, and if they did they were very weak. So he decided to go home, stopping at the ramen store on the way. Ayame was serving everyone today. Oh Naruto-kun, it's good to see you. Ayame said. But Naruto didn't hear those words, he was only thinking about Mei. Naruto, are you alright? Ayame said looking at Naruto surprised. Yes, I'm fine, I was just thinking. Said Naruto with a blush on his cheeks. Well, I'm fine. Said Ayame. After that they didn't talk, Naruto ate and went home. The next 3 days Naruto behaved the same way, but he couldn't help it. And then the day of the meeting came. Naruto had spoken to the ANBUs earlier. And he gave them his instructions. Naruto himself, was he summoned? Asked the Anbu. Yes, I have a mission for you, you must request a mission to guard the Mizukage's daughter. Naruto said. Hi, Naruto himself. Said the Anbu. It's good to have subordinates after all. Said Naruto to himself. And so the Mizukage with his daughter and his guards arrived in Konoha. The Mizukage went with the Hokage and Mei decided to take a look around the village. She was told that all the guards would go with her father and Konoha would take care of her. Just then Naruto appears in front of her. They looked at each other and both blushed. Naruto immediately liked Mei, and Naruto was glad that she looked just like in the picture. So that means she looks just like the one in the picture. Naruto said to himself. He's so handsome, with his long red hair, blue eyes and 3 whiskers on each cheek. Mei said to herself. Hello, said Mei blushing. Hi, I'm your guard for today. Said Naruto also blushing. Well then, why don't you show me around the village? Said Mei in a low voice. Yes, sure, let's go. Said Naruto affirmatively. And they left. Naruto took Mei around the village and showed her every corner. They talked sweetly and laughed, sometimes clashing their gazes and blushing. Mei, for her part, didn't look at the village most of the way, but admired Naruto. Finally they reached the shooting range. It was getting dark and Mei had to go to her father's house. "Thank you for such good company and for the tour," Mei said. "Thanks to you," said Naruto blushing. Mei blushed, then gave Naruto a kiss on the cheek and ran off red as cancer. Naruto was shocked by this and for about 10 minutes he was still recovering from it. Then all the joy and happiness vanished as if it never happened, and the culprits were 3 shinobi who had come to train and saw Naruto. Naruto was furious and decided to take it out on them. "Look, it's a demon," shouted the first one laughing. "Yes, let's kill him for his mother, Danzo and our families," shouted the second one. After these words Naruto could not contain himself and did not have time to try his new techniques. He immediately activated the Mangekyo and after that Susanoo did too. The 3 were frightened and wanted to run away, but Naruto's first lunge cut the head of the first one and then stabbed the heart of the third one. The second one he decided to submerge in genjutsu, so that he would suffer before dying. The shinobi could not fight back as Naruto was much stronger than them. As Naruto planned, he dipped the other in genjutsu where he was first tortured and then showed his family being killed. Naruto pulled out an evil grin as he pulled the other out of genjutsu. He was about to go crazy. Naruto for his part pulled out his katana and started cutting him, first his legs and then his arms and head. After that he went home. At the same time Mei had already arrived at the hotel where they were staying. While she was running she was thinking about Naruto. "I wonder if my father will know anything about him and how we could meet again," Mei reasoned, blushing slightly. Entering the room she saw her father sitting at the table eating. She went straight to him and sat down at the table. "You are late," said the Mizukage sullenly. "Is something wrong?" he asked later. "Sorry father for being late and nothing happened," Mei said. "Then why were you late?" he asked in the same tone of voice. "I was walking around the village, and a man from Konoha gave me a tour," Mei said, blushing slightly. "Ahem, but I was just supposed to be watching you," she said. "I don't know, but he spent the whole day with me," Mei said. "How weird," he said to himself. "Okay, what was his name?" he asked. "His name was Naruto," Mei said. She wanted to continue but the Mizukage immediately became nervous and interrupted her daughter. "What did you call him?" she asked, hoping to hear a different answer. "Naruto. Why, is something wrong?" Mei asked without understanding what was going on. "You can't have any more contact with him. If you try, I'll punish you," he said affirmatively. "But why?" Mei asked, shouting a little. "That's it, I said no and that's it," he said. "But what's wrong with him?" Mei asked with a tear showing. "He's a demon and a murderer. He could have hurt you. Thank goodness you're all right," he said. "But he is so kind," Mei said. "That's it, this conversation is closed. Go to sleep. I'll talk to the Hokage about this tomorrow," he said. After these words Mei turned around and ran to her room. There she closed and started to cry. The Mizukage wondered. "I wonder if the Hokage is gilding over him, but he gave evidence, but according to Tsunade, he was always kind and cheerful. Maybe he was so affected by the death of his mother," Mizukage thought to himself. He went to sleep. The next day Mizukage and his daughter left the village. He didn't talk to the Hokage about it and just left. Mei noticed and thanked her father, but didn't say anything to him as she was hurt by his words yesterday. The Hokage never found out that Mei had spent all day yesterday with Naruto and not with the Anbu. The Mizukage for his part had left his man to follow Naruto and find out what the village was saying about him. Naruto for his part was himself, as he had made sure Mei was okay, but the kiss was still not off his mind, but he could continue training now, so he started to continue training and trying to talk to the fox. School. After that encounter with Mei, he hadn't forgotten about her and remembered her every day, but now it didn't interfere with his training. And now it was time to enter the academy. Naruto was not going to study there, he wanted to pass the exams soon or attend classes freely. The morning came, he did all his morning exercises, had breakfast and walked to the academy. "I hope the teacher is okay and will listen to me, but I will have to attend one day for sure," Naruto reasoned to himself. When he arrived at the academy, he saw a bunch of kids and their parents. They all saw Naruto and started telling their kids not to talk to him. The kids didn't understand why their parents were saying that, but no one dared to say anything to them. Only Sasuke knew what was wrong with Naruto, but he knew it wasn't dangerous. "Father, why is everyone saying that about that boy and why does he look so much older than us?" Shikamaru asked lazily to his father. "It's just that there are nuances, but I would not advise getting attached to him, but he is not dangerous." Shikaku said. "I wonder who he is." Shikamaru said to himself. Hiruzen gave a fiery speech about the importance of being a shinobi and the will of fire that flows in all of us. After 10 minutes he finished speaking and all the children were assigned to classes. Naruto's teacher was Yumino Iruka. After the assignment the children started to leave the class and their parents were watching them with their eyes. As the children entered the classroom they all looked at Naruto with interest. He tried not to pay attention to those looks, although it bothered him. Naruto chose a seat at the back of the desk by the window. No one sat with him, as he looked much older and on his parents' orders. Sasuke also preferred not to sit next to him as he was aware that he was no longer himself. After a while Iruka entered the classroom and started to introduce himself to the class, then he started calling the boys one by one to tell them something about themselves. Naruto didn't listen to anyone and looked out the window thinking about his own. "I wonder where to start destroying this village and who to save." Naruto thought to himself with a smile on his face. When Naruto's time was up, Iruka called him to the board. He came out and just said his name. Everyone was surprised because they didn't recognize anything. "But you said your name." Neji Hyuga shouted. "You don't need to know anything about me." Naruto replied and returned to his seat. "I'll teach him a lesson, he'll know who he's messing with," said Neji angrily to himself. The whole class, including Iruka, was surprised, but the teacher decided to start the lesson. Naruto didn't hear anything and fell asleep in his thoughts. This made Iruka angry and threw a chalk at Naruto. The class was already anticipating how that chalk would hit him, but Naruto felt threatened and caught the chalk, then broke it in his fist. The class was shocked by what they saw. "What a show-off," Neji said to himself. "You wanted something, Iruka-kun," Naruto said in a sleepy voice. "Don't you dare treat sensei like that," Neji shouted. "I will only call sensei someone who can teach me something, and Iruka is not one of them," Naruto said threateningly. Iruka said nothing, and the rest of the class was silent, while Naruto slept. The classes ended and Naruto approached Iruka. "I want to pass the exam or attend classes freely," Naruto said. "Are you sure you can pass the exam?" Iruka asked. After that Naruto created a whole class of clones. "This is enough as a test," Naruto said uninterested. "Well, I'll talk to the Hokage about it, tomorrow I'll tell you everything," said Iruka. "Okay then I'll wait for an answer, bye," said Naruto and left the classroom. "Who the hell is he?" said Iruka to himself. Naruto headed to his training ground, where he always trained. Once there, he sat down to meditate to contact the fox in his subconscious. After a few minutes, he found himself next to the cage. "You again," said the fox with a smile. "What, you want another one?" he said. "I want to know your name," Naruto said with a serious tone. "You want me to tell you my name?" said the fox laughing. "Yeah, what's so funny about that?" Naruto asked. "I would never tell my name to a weakling, let alone an Uchiha," said the fox seriously. "Okay, what do I have to do to prove to you that I'm not a wimp?" Naruto asked. "And I don't want to use my eyes to submit," Naruto said after the question. "Why should I believe you?" asked the fox. "Yes, for the fact that if I wanted to, I would have used them a long time ago," Naruto replied. "That's right too, okay I'll give you a chance, but if you complete this task, it won't mean that you and I will be even. I already let you use chakra normally and I don't interfere," said the fox. "Very well, what do we have to do?" Naruto asked. "You will have to make a contract with the foxes and win the Kenjutsu without using chakra and your eyes, the most powerful of all. But to get it you should not use the summoning technique," said the fox. "But how am I going to get there?" Naruto asked indignantly. "I'll give you a hint, you must become a fox and merge with nature, become a fox and then you will find the ones you are looking for." Above all, you should have read in the books that you can enter the world of summoned animals without techniques. Said the fox. Okay, I accept the offer. Said Naruto. Then, get out of here, when you fulfill it, then come back. Said the fox, after pulling Naruto out of his subconscious. Maybe this is the one Hagoromo was talking about, but then how come there is so much hatred and evil in the savior of the world? Reasoned the fox. I wonder how long it will take me to complete this task. Naruto said to himself. Well, time will show if he is the right one or not. If he can accomplish this task, I will talk to him. Finished speaking the fox. Well, starting tomorrow I will begin this task. Naruto also finished his reasoning. After these words he started his training. All the time Naruto was observed by Neji. Naruto noticed it. Hey you, get out of there. Said Naruto pointing to where Neji was. Neji came out of the bushes and started walking towards Naruto. What do you want from me? Naruto said. I'm going to teach you a lesson, how dare you talk to me like that? Said Neji activating a Byakugan. You can't even beat my clone. Said Naruto smiling. Don't you dare underestimate your opponents. Said Neji angrily. And you, what are you doing now? You go for an enemy that is many times stronger than you. Naruto said. Yes, compared to me you are weak. Neji shouted. Naruto laughed after saying that and created a clone. Try to hurt it at least. Naruto said. Yes to him. Said Neji. But I am not responsible for the consequences. Said Naruto smiling. Neither am I, so don't complain to your mom about the bruises. Oh no you don't, you killed her. Said Neji shamelessly. These words made Naruto angry. He created another clone to tell his Anbu to stop him if he was willing to kill Neji. Don't you dare say anything about me and my family, because you don't know anything, and that's why I will make you my pawn. Naruto said angrily. Neji suspected nothing, for they were simple words from a hurt boy, and smiled. The fight started. Neji tried to punch, but all the punches went past the clone. Naruto got tired of that, and knocked Neji out with a punch to the body. Yeah, I didn't expect you to be so weak. Naruto said inadvertently as he poured chakra into his fist during the punch. Naruto approached Neji and saw the Hyuga clan mark. Interesting, so he's from the lower branch and can't face it, but I'm going to have a stronger seal, so let's see what happens, Naruto muttered. Then he applied the submission mark to Neji, but without hitting the clan mark. Now he has to obey me, but his clan mark will also work, so no one will notice anything. Naruto said. After saying this Naruto called his subordinates and ordered them to kill Neji if he suddenly remembered or stopped obeying if the self-destruct seal didn't work. 10 minutes later Neji woke up. He remembered Naruto as his master and knew not to tell anyone about him or disobey his orders. Naruto-sama, what are your orders? Said Neji kneeling down. Nothing for now, you have a probation period and for now you will have to behave like normal and do everything you do every day and after that I will give you homework. Naruto said. Hi, Naruto-sama. Said Neji. Now go away. Said Naruto. After saying that, Neji disappeared, followed by one of the Anbu hiding his presence completely. Let's hope the seal works well, I could use a Byakugan in my team. Naruto thought to himself. He then headed home. At the same time Iruka finished his business at school and headed to the Hokage's office to talk about Naruto. 10 minutes later he arrived at the Hokage's office and knocked on the door. Come in. Hiruzen's voice rang out. Iruka opened the door, then entered and bowed. Hokage in person, I need to have a conversation. Iruka said. And what do you want to talk about? Hiruzen asked. About Naruto, the Hokage herself. Said Iruka. And what did he do? Hiruzen asked getting tense. Nothing, I would like to give him an early genin exam since he has nothing to do at the academy. Said Iruka. No, let him study with the others, we don't need those upstarts, least of all Naruto. Said Hiruzen. But why? Asked Iruka indignantly. I said no and it's out of the question, he'll take the exam with everyone else, and before the exam, do whatever you want with him. And if he exclaims, it will be calculated as an offense against Konoha, now he is free to go. Hiruzen said. Hi, the Hokage herself. Iruka said, after which he turned and left. The next day Naruto got up and headed to the academy. He was already expecting to be dropped off at the academy for free attendance as he had to complete the fox's homework. As he entered the classroom he approached Iruka. "So what did the Hokage tell you?" Naruto asked. "He said that you will take the exam with everyone else and before that I can do whatever I want with you," said Iruka. "I see, and what did you decide?" Naruto asked. "You can skip the academy and just come to the end of the academy and get your protector," said Iruka. "I see, thank you, and how many years should I come after that?" Naruto asked. 5 years from now," Iruka replied. "Okay, then I'm going," Naruto said and left the classroom. "Iruka-sensei, why did Naruto leave the class?" asked one of the boys. "He was transferred to free study," said Iruka. All the kids in the class were surprised but no one said anything. After that Iruka started his lesson and Naruto went to the shooting range. Fox mode. After arriving at the training camp, Naruto began his training. He didn't know how to get to the recruited animals and so he just followed the fox's words. He started meditating a lot, living outdoors and foraging for food on his own, because he had no idea how he could approach the animals otherwise. So the days passed, and his animal instincts began to surface. After a month of this kind of bonding with nature, Naruto decided to go in search of foxes. He alerted his Anbu and Iruka and set off, but first he entered his subconscious and approached the cage. "What, have you given up?" asked the fox. "No, I just decided to clarify one thing," said Naruto. "Well, what do you want to know?" asked the fox. "To find foxes, I just have to walk through the woods and someday I'll find them," asked Naruto. "You must not only walk, you must walk with the purpose of finding them and then you will be able to find them, but if you just walk without thinking about anything, you will not find anyone," said the fox. "I see, thanks for the answer," said Naruto. "Now get out of here and don't interrupt my sleep," said the fox, pulling Naruto out of his subconscious. "I wonder if he will find them," wondered the fox. "Well, on the way," Naruto said and left. During that month Neji's mark had behaved normally as it should be and there was no abnormality. He had completely obeyed Naruto's instructions. Upon leaving, Naruto ordered Neji to follow the ANBU's orders while he was out of the village. Naruto began his journey, walking with the sole purpose of finding the foxes for the best effect. Along the way he trained and killed or practiced his submission techniques on the animals. This way he traveled for a year, but there were no results. He already thought it was simply impossible. But one day, he was walking through the forest and saw how the environment around him changed a little, and after walking a few meters he saw houses and foxes with different number of tails. These foxes were not like ordinary foxes, they were as tall as humans and moved differently. Some moved like humans on 2 legs, and others moved like foxes on 4 legs. Each fox had several tails, but also had one. The foxes quickly saw Naruto and began to look at him in surprise, as they rarely had someone after the summoning technique. And the animated life stopped. They all looked at Naruto. "That's it, I'm in. Finally, I was beginning to think it was impossible," Naruto said to himself with a smile on his face. He was immediately approached by several foxes. "Wow, how did you get here?" said one of them. "I was walking through the forest and came here," said Naruto. The foxes were surprised, but realized that he was looking for them on purpose. "I see, then let's go to our head," said the same fox. "Okay, let's go," Naruto said. After the foxes took Naruto to their head, as they walked towards them they all threw glances at each other and looked at them in surprise. Naruto immediately remembered Konoha, but as they looked closer they looked at him with surprise instead of hatred. Arriving at the central building, the foxes entered first and then invited Naruto in. The boss looked at Naruto and greeted him with a smile on his face. "I am the boss of the foxes, my name is Akure," said the fox. "And I am Naruto Uzumaki or Uchiha," said Naruto. "Nice to meet you Naruto," said Akure. "Nice to meet you too," said Naruto. "What brings you here?" asked Akure. "I want to make a contract with you and learn Kenjutsu from you, to defeat the strongest of you," said Naruto. "Okay, then you have to write your name in blood and circle your palm, then I will give you a teacher," said Akure. Naruto did everything as Akure said. Is there anything else you want to know? Akure asked. Yes, why does everyone have different number of tails? Naruto asked. It's because the foxes that have one tail are the weakest and most of the time they stay quiet, and as you can understand, the more tails the more power and opportunities. Said Akure. Anything else? He asked after the fox. Is that why the peaceful ones walk on all fours? Asked Naruto. Yes, it is done to distinguish them. Said Akure. I see, and how many tails does the strongest of you have? Naruto asked. The strongest of us was the founder of this village had 9 tails, and of those who are here 6. Said Akure. So your founder is sealed in me? Said Naruto. Are you saying that he was sealed in you? Asked Akure. Yes, and it was he who gave me this task, to find you without summoning and defeat you the hardest, so that he would tell me his name. Said Naruto. That's clear, now everything fits. Said Akure. And why do you need tails above all? Asked Naruto. Well, mostly to fight with kenjutsu, we each take a katana and practice kenjutsu. Said Akure. Well, now I have no more questions. Said Naruto. Okay, your teacher is coming, his name is Kichiro. Said Akure. 5 minutes later a fox with 5 tails arrived. Kichiro, this boy is now your student, you will have to teach him our fighting style and prepare him to fight the 6-tailed Aki. Akure said. Okay, Akure will do it alone. Kichiro said. I am Naruto. Said Naruto looking at Kichiro. Kichiro, I am now your master, please address me as a friend. In the future maybe I will be your main summoner. Now let's go to the training ground to practice. Said Kichiro. Okay, said Naruto. Said Naruto. How do you spend your time here? He asked later. Time passes here, just like in the real world. Replied Kichiro. Well, then we have 4 more years left. Said Naruto. After that they went to the shooting range, where Naruto was going to spend all his time. I hope you realize that you're going to have a hard time with Aki. Kichiro said. Yes, I realize it very well. Said Naruto. Well, our style is based on speed, defense and stealth. Most of the time we dodge and defend by watching the enemy and then we strike, most of the time it's the enemy's last hit. Said Kichiro. Good, said Naruto. But there is one more variant of fighting, it is little used by us, because it requires good reaction and very great speed. Said Kichiro. And what style is that? Naruto asked. It is based on the use of all the tails in the attack, you have to constantly surround the enemy and give quick blows constantly. The reaction is necessary to be able to defend yourself and not get hurt. Said Kichiro. What style should I use? Asked Naruto. Well, for both styles you will need tails. Said Kichiro. But I don't have any. Said Naruto tense. I know, and for this first time we will learn the fox mode. In this mode you will have a little more speed and reaction, but the most important thing is that you will have tails. We will practice the timing of entering and staying in this mode, and then we will learn kenjutsu. Also, the number of tails depends on how strong you are now and will not change in the future. Kichiro said. I understand, but how long do I have to enter this mode? Asked Naruto. Ideally in a couple of seconds. Said Kichiro. Okay, and when do we start? Asked Naruto. Well, if you understand everything, right now. Said Kichiro. What do I have to do? Naruto asked. You have to merge with nature, free your mind, sharpen your hearing, turn on your instincts and imagine yourself as a fox. And only when you can do all that at the same time you will enter fox mode. Kichiro replied. Understood. Naruto said. Naruto sat down and began to meditate to make it easier for him to complete all the points. But it was harder than Naruto had imagined. No matter how many times he tried he couldn't do it all at once. So he tried to go into all-day mode, but it didn't work. That's all for today, we'll continue tomorrow. I also want to tell you that you'll have to learn how to get into it on the fly. Kichiro said. Okay, isn't there another way to get into this mode? Asked Naruto. No, only if you can control the 9-tailed chakra in you. Said Kichiro. Don't you know its name? Asked Naruto. We know it, but we have been ordered to hide it and only the worthy will know it. said Kichiro. Then Naruto went to sleep. When he woke up he had breakfast, did his morning exercises and went to try to enter the mode. The biggest problem was that you couldn't use clones. So after 3 months Naruto was able to enter the fox mode. His pupils changed immediately, his claws grew back and 4 tails appeared behind him, his hearing improved and his instincts became stronger. Naruto was surprised that he had changed drastically. Naruto, you did it. Kichiro said cheerfully. I hope you remembered how to do it, said the fox with a smile. Sure, I already have more or less how to do it, Naruto said with a smile. Okay, so you have 4 tails. Well, that's good. People who have mastered this mode before have woken up 3 at most, said Kichiro. So this is the best result, said Naruto. Yes, but that doesn't mean you will beat Aki easily. And now you can rest, more time will reduce your time to enter the mode, and after trying to enter it on the fly, Kichiro said, smiling. After another 5 months Naruto learned to enter the mode in 5 seconds, while on the move he needed 15. So, I think these results are enough for Kenjutsu training. From now on, you will practice entering mode and Kenjutsu every day, Kichiro said in a serious voice. Well, what style should I use? Asked Naruto. I think you can use both, but it's better if you choose one of them, said Kichiro. Then I can choose my own style, asked Naruto. Yes, the choice is yours, and after you master one of the styles perfectly, I can teach you the second one, Kichiro said with a smile. Okay, then I will choose the attack style, said Naruto. Okay, I will introduce you to the theory, but to teach the actual combat and show you how to do it Deika will teach you. He is the best at it, and as you know I have a defensive style, said Kichiro. Well, which is the style that most often beats the other? Asked Naruto. Most of the time the attacking style is the one that few can master ideally, and that's why they lose against the defensive style, but those who master it can beat us almost easily, said Kichiro. Well, where do we start? Said Naruto. And Naruto began to learn the theory. After 4 months Naruto had learned all the theory and it was time to practice. When Naruto arrived at the training field they gave him 6 katanas, 2 in the hands and 4 by tails, and in front of them appeared Deika. She had 4 tails just like Naruto. So you are Naruto? Said Deika. Yes, answered Naruto. Good, now I will teach the attack style. Watch me carefully and memorize how I move and hit. You will also have to learn how to trick your opponent with your moves so you can strike quickly, Deika said. Okay, I will watch carefully and attentively, said Naruto. And so began his training. He learned this style for a year. In that time he learned to get in mode in 2 seconds and in motion in 4. He mastered the attack style to perfection, but defeated Deika with difficulty, as he lacked fighting cunning. Kichiro and Deika were satisfied with the results of Naruto's training. Kichiro, I want to learn a defensive style so that the enemy cannot predict my moves, Naruto shouted. That's good, but few people have mastered both styles at the same time. It takes a lot of coordination to use both, said Kichiro. I can do it, Kichiro, trust me, said Naruto seriously. Good, then from tomorrow I will start training you, said Kichiro. It also took Naruto a year to learn the defense style, and another 6 months for Naruto to be able to switch styles quickly and combine them little by little. And now it was time to fight the strongest of the foxes. Naruto, be careful with Ni, he's not an ordinary fox as he seems, said Kichiro. It's okay, he has a defense style, we have to be careful, Naruto said to himself. Even the boss fox Akure came to their fight. And so the fight began. Naruto immediately went into fox mode and went into attack position, his opponent went into defense. Just as I thought, Naruto said. Naruto spun around the enemy and threw punches at lightning speed, but Aki defended against every punch Naruto threw, but didn't attack. Aki waited for the right moment, and during the next attack he noticed that Naruto had where to hit and immediately began to strike. Naruto sensed it, although he did not see it, and instantly went on the defensive and managed to deflect the blow, but immediately Aki began to attack Naruto. Naruto's speed allowed him to deflect all the blows, but Aki kept pace and Naruto decided to mix the 2 styles. After a successful hit he began to attack with his hands and tails protecting his body. They took turns and Naruto began to surround his enemy. Aki was having a hard time but was still able to repel the blows. Faced with this onslaught in Naruto's defense, Aki could not hold on for long and then received the first light blow. He had no choice but to defend himself, and began to miss many blows but still managed to hit Naruto. And after 10 minutes, Aki collapsed under such an onslaught and surrendered. Everyone was surprised to use their styles in such a way. "Well done, Naruto," said Akure. "Thank you for the fight, Aki," said Naruto with a smile. "And you fought well, you are a good opponent," said Aki extending his hand. "Thank you," said Naruto shaking his hand. During the time he was with the foxes, Naruto forgot about the hatred and anger he felt in the village. He had forgotten everything and was happy to be alive, but when he remembered the village he was back to his old self. Now Naruto had to talk to the fox and go back to the village. Command. Naruto decided to go to the village and then contact the fox. He left the fox world and traveled. 2 months later he arrived back. Naruto decided not to go anywhere and went straight to the shooting range. Then he entered his consciousness. "What do you want?" the fox asked in a sleepy voice. "I kept my part of the deal, now it's your turn," Naruto said. "I know," said the fox with a smile. "Then tell me your name," said Naruto smiling. "My name is Kurama, I am the strongest of all the tailed ones and as you may have noticed, I am the founder of the fox world," Kurama said. "Kurama means," said Naruto thoughtfully. "Don't think, kid, that I'm going to help you right away. I said I will tell you my name and it is up to me to help you or not," Kurama said. "But that's not fair, I thought you were just saying that," said Naruto. "Of course not, I always keep my words. But I will think about helping me or not, but if I agree to help you, you will have to break the seal," said Kurama smiling. "But how can I trust you?" Naruto asked. "You can't, you'll have to decide whether you do or not. No one will tell you, but everyone will look at you even more like a demon," said Kurama. "I see," said Naruto. "And if I break the seal now, what will happen?" asked Naruto. "I'll decide, I can possess your body and escape or I can stay here or I can help you," said Kurama smiling. "I see, but you can't just possess my body," said Naruto. "Of course, to do that I would have to kill you, and your body would have to be saturated with anger and hatred," Kurama said. "But you know how strong I am. I even beat the strongest of foxes," said Naruto raising his voice. "That fox was the strongest, but it doesn't even come close to me. I am the strongest and with the most beautiful tail," Kurama said bragging. "Then that's what we'll try," Naruto said. "What to try? If you start losing you'll use your eyes. And if you win, I already told you I'll think about whether to help you or not. So there will be no point in our fight, it will just be the same as before," Kurama said angrily. "All right, I'll call you later and I want to wait for your answer," said Naruto in a serious tone. "Wait, if you want to meet your father you can try to break the seal," said Kurama. "What's with your tricks, you just want me to break the seal," said Naruto. "If you don't believe me then go and check it out," said Kurama. Naruto was thoughtful and decided to check if the fox was lying or not. He approached the cage and started to be lifted up to the seal. Just as he touched the seal he was stopped by a hand. To his right was Minato. Naruto was surprised that the fox wasn't lying. He then kicked him in the stomach, tears in his eyes. "You are the reason I have this life," Naruto shouted. "I'm sorry," said Minato with guilt in his voice. "I thought Mom was lying when she said my father sealed the fox inside me to save the village, but now there's proof of it. Now I'm definitely going to wipe this pathetic village off the face of the earth," Naruto shouted with tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry, I thought everyone would treat you differently," said Minato. "I don't want to meet you," said Naruto to then come out of his subconscious. "Hopefully Kurama will give an answer in the near future," Naruto said to himself. When he opened his eyes, he saw Anbu in front of him, who knelt down, but then stood up. Naruto himself, "Have you been back long?" asked one of them. "No, I came a couple of hours ago," Naruto said. "Good to see you," said the three of them. I'm glad to see you too, said Naruto. During my absence, did anything happen? He asked. The Uchiha clan tried to rebel, but they were pacified peacefully. The Hokage reprimanded Iruka for letting you leave the academy. Neji Hyuga had no anomaly on his scoreboard, obeyed all orders and gave no indication that he was going to tell, and acted as usual. Nothing else happened, said the Anbu chief. Well, thank you for your work. Now you can go, Naruto said. Hi, said the three men, then they disappeared. Naruto went to the secret library, there he spent the rest of his time. It was time for the exam. Naruto went to look for his bracelet and recognize his team. On his way he met the students of the academy and they all looked at him surprised, since they had seen him for the last time 5 years ago. Naruto hadn't changed much in that time, he had only gotten a little taller. He paid no attention and walked into the classroom. Everyone looked at him in surprise, but no one said anything. Oh Naruto, where have you been all this time? Iruka asked. I was training with the foxes, Naruto said with a smile. Iruka knew that Naruto had a fox sealed inside him. Like everyone else, but he realized that the boy was innocent. Even though the fox had killed Iruka's family, Iruka treated his student like any other, even though he had only met him a couple of times. You must have become even stronger, Iruka said, smiling. Of course I have, Naruto replied. Good, take the bandage and sit on the desk, I'll announce the orders, said Iruka holding out the bandage. But Iruka-sensei, you haven't attended any class, shouted one of the students. He passed this exam on the first day, that's why I have let him not attend class, replied Iruka. Okay, I'll go to the last desk, said Naruto taking the blindfold. Then Naruto went to the last desk and sat down. Everyone in the class looked at Naruto with surprise, they wondered how he had been able to pass the exam without attending a single class and why he had 6 katanas behind his back. But their conversations were interrupted by Iruka. Well, congratulations to everyone for passing the exam, Iruka said. He then talked for about 10 minutes about how important and useful it was to be a shinobi. Then he started announcing the teams and their commanders. Naruto skipped all the teams, he was trying to hear only his name. Team number 7, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno and mentor Kakashi Hatake. Iruka said. So I'm with Sasuke, I wonder how strong he has become, Naruto said to himself. Sakura at that moment was beaming with happiness for being in a team with Sasuke. 5 minutes later, Iruka finished announcing the team rosters and wished everyone good luck. And the teams started to be followed by their mentors. 15 minutes later only Kakashi's team was left in the classroom. Naruto was angry for this lack of punctuality, but for once he decided not to say anything and 2 hours later Kakashi entered. Sensei, you were late, Sakura shouted. I was just helping my grandmother. Kakashi excused himself. Now let's go to the rooftop to get to know each other, said Kakashi smiling with his eyes. Then they all went to the rooftop and in front of Kakashi sat 3 genin. So tell me something about yourselves, Kakashi said. Sensei, set the example, Sakura said smiling. Well, my name is Kakashi Hatake, I like reading, I like many things and I don't like many things, said Kakashi. My name is Sakura Haruno, Sakura said making a little pause. I love Sasuke, she said blushing. I'm interested to know more about Naruto, and although I don't love him, my dream is to become the strongest kunoichi, said Haruno. Well, now it's your turn Sasuke, Kakashi said looking at the boy. My name is Sasuke Uchiha, my goal is to surpass my brother as well as Naruto and Shisui. I love my family and my brother, I don't like people who annoy too much and have a high opinion of themselves, Sasuke said. Interesting, Kakashi said to himself. Naruto, now it's your turn, he said. My name is Naruto Uzumaki or Uchiha, that's all, said Naruto. But you haven't said anything, shouted Sakura. You don't need to know anything else, said Naruto. I wonder if the Hokage said it could be dangerous, Kakashi said to himself. But we were going to be here to get to know each other more, Sakura shouted. I decide what I want to say. If I decide not to say more then I don't want to, and don't you dare yell at me. I forgive you this time, but next time I will teach you a lesson. Keep in mind that I can hit you. Naruto said, looking at Sakura with a furious look. Sakura was startled and immediately shut up and sat back in her seat. Shish, guys. Kakashi said, smiling with a glare. But sensei, he started it. Sakura said. Then he has his reasons. Said Kakashi in a serious tone. Okay sensei. Sakura said. Kakashi, why did you call us here? It's not just to meet us. Naruto said. Tomorrow I will give you a test. I advise you not to eat. You have to come to the place of test number 4 at 10 o'clock in the morning. I will give you further instructions at the time. Kakashi said and then disappeared. Naruto didn't wait for any word from his classmates and left for home, followed by Sasuke. Haruno didn't understand why they were acting like that. On the way Naruto went to the belt store, where he ate and had a nice chat with the old man, then went home to sleep. The next day he went to the shooting range just as Kakashi said, but unlike the others he ate. But Kakashi was late and 2 hours later he arrived, meeting angry looks. Kakashi, if you're late again, I'll kill you. Naruto said in a serious tone. Naruto, how dare you talk to sensei like that? Sakura shouted. I will only call sensei someone who can teach me something, and I warned you that if you shouted one more time I will kick you in the stomach. Naruto said with the same tone of voice. Everyone was surprised, even Sasuke, even knowing how Naruto had become. It's okay, I won't be late again. Kakashi said. Well, your task will be to take these bells off, and whoever can't do it will go to the academy. Said Kakashi, taking out a book. Kakashi, this is the stupidest task. If that's all, I'll go home. Naruto said. Then you will go back to the academy. Kakashi said, hoping to scare Naruto. You can't send any of us to the academy and you're not a problem for me. Naruto said. Don't be so sure of yourself. Said Kakashi, looking at Naruto. You should know from my record what techniques I have and that I killed Danzo. I also have other techniques and I can use the 6 katanas I have on my back. Said Naruto. So it was true then. Kakashi said to himself. But how can you use them? Kakashi asked. Naruto immediately went into fox mode, after taking all the tails of his katanas. That's right, I trained with foxes these 5 years. Naruto said. Kakashi decided not to push his luck and simply agreed to cancel the tests. So you're willing to kill a member of your team? Kakashi asked. If he does something against me, then yes. Naruto said. How dare you talk to sensei like that and treat your team like that? Sakura shouted. Naruto immediately walked up to her and soaked his foot with some chakra and kicked Sakura in the stomach, sending her flying a few meters away. I warned you not to yell at me and next time I'll make you mine. Said Naruto with an angry voice. Immediately everyone ran to Sakura. Kakashi began to examine the girl. Okay, I'll take her to the hospital. Said Kakashi. Tomorrow I'll pick everyone up and we'll go on a mission. Kakashi said. Okay, then I'll go. Naruto said. I wonder what he meant by, I'll do my thing to you. Kakashi thought to himself. And so ended the test of team number 7. On the road. A month had passed. During that time they had been doing the simplest tasks, like hunting animals and weeding the orchard. Sakura was starting to get bored of it, but she was afraid to say anything about it, because of Naruto. Naruto and Kakashi didn't care about the mission, because the red-haired one was thinking about how to escape and waiting for the fox's answer, and the white-haired one was reading a book. Sasuke, on the other hand, wanted a mission where he could test his combat skills. After another easy mission, they went to deliver the Hokage's report and Sasuke couldn't stand it and started asking for a more difficult mission. Give us a higher ranking mission. Sasuke said loudly. You are only genin and I give you missions equal to your rank. Hiruzen said. But we are tired of these missions. Said Sasuke. Calm down Sasuke. Kakashi said. All right, said Hiruzen. Do you really want a higher ranking mission? Hiruzen asked. Sasuke and Sakura nodded their heads in confirmation, while Naruto was left thinking his own thoughts. Naruto, do you also want a higher ranking mission? asked Hiruzen. I'm not interested, Naruto said. Kakashi, what do you think about it? Hiruzen asked. I think they are ready. Kakashi said. Good. Hiruzen said. Thank you, said Sasuke and Sakura smiling. Your task will be to escort the architect to his village, said Hiruzen. Minutes later, a drunk architect entered the office. And these guys will accompany me, said Tazuna, indignant. Yes, they will accompany you, said Hiruzen. Naruto said nothing to Tazuna, deciding that if he resented him, he would threaten him. Okay, let them accompany you, said Tazuna with hiccups. Then tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the main gate, Kakashi said, then disappeared. After that everyone dispersed, the three left the residence together. Naruto was too lazy to run away quickly. And him we will accompany, Sasuke said reluctantly. Sasuke, but he is our client. We have to respect him, Sakura said. If he offends us again, I'll teach him a lesson, said Naruto. But that's no way to treat a customer, said Sakura. I don't care, I just treat him like he treats us, said Naruto. Sasuke, what do you think about this kind of treatment? Sakura asked. I agree with Naruto, the customer should also treat us with respect, said Sasuke. But you can't do that either, Sakura said indignant. Sakura, if you don't shut up now you will know what it is to be my thing, said Naruto. What do you mean by being her thing? Asked Sasuke. I will put a seal of submission on you, but I will let you suffer your conscience and do to you what you want. So don't make fun of me and don't you ever dare to fight me, Naruto said in a serious voice. After that statement, Sakura and Sasuke were silent. All the way they walked in silence, afraid to say anything. Too bad my seal has a limit of 10 people, Naruto thought to himself. Arriving at his house, he began to think of an escape. Probably the best time to escape would be the Chunin exam, Naruto said to himself. I'll escape then, but when will it be? I hope it's soon, because I might not be able to stand it and make Sakura my subordinate, and I wouldn't want to kill her because she didn't do much of anything. But I don't need her, I'd rather kill her and make room for someone else, Naruto thought to himself. Meanwhile, the Hidden Mist village was in mourning. Their Mizukage had died, but not by his hand, but by age. Mei Terumi became the new head of the village. The next day she decided to bury her father. Mei sat at Tsunade's house with Shizune and they drank. The girls cheered her up as best they could. Mei, everything will be all right, we are with you, Tsunade said with a sad smile. Yes, we will help you, said Shizune. And we will never leave you, said Tsunade. Thank you for your support, Mei said with tears in her eyes. Don't worry, we won't betray you, said Tsunade as she drank more sake. This day was very bad for Mei and she began to think about what she should do next. Even though her father had died, Mei thought about Naruto. Tsunade, are you sure Naruto will come to the village? Mei asked wiping away her tears. Yes, I am sure. In the village they treat him very badly, said Tsunade. Then why hasn't he come yet? Mei asked. It is not yet time, Tsunade said. Why did you fall in love with him? Tsunade asked, smiling. No, just curious, Mei said blushing. Well, let's not talk about it, let's go to bed, said Tsunade with a smile. After that Tsunade put Mei to bed and she herself went to sleep next to her. Shizune for her part went to her room. The next morning they had a headache and Mei forgot about the official public appointment of her Mizukage. Meanwhile, Naruto woke up, sealed all the things he needed and headed for the door. Everyone arrived on time. After Naruto threatened Kakashi, he wasn't late. As he approached the door he saw his client walking in with a bottle in his hands. Tazuna had been drinking all night. If you say anything about us, you'll get a kick in the stomach, Naruto said looking at Tazuna. Naruto, be nice to the customer, said Kakashi. I warned you what would happen, period, said Naruto. It's okay, I won't say anything, said Tazuna with fear in his voice. It's okay, said Naruto. Then the five continued on their way. Because of Tazuna they were moving slowly, but suddenly Naruto saw a puddle on the road. He realized that there was something wrong and decided to check it. Taking 2 katanas, he stuck them in the puddle. From the puddle, blood started to come out, and then Naruto pulled out 2 bodies. Everyone was surprised except Kakashi, who also noticed the puddle. "Naruto, who is that?" Sakura shouted in fright. "Well, apparently the ones who were supposed to kill us," said Naruto. "Tazuna, is there anything you haven't told us?" Kakashi asked. "Yes, I reduced the rank of the mission since there was no money for a higher rank mission," Tazuna said. "But there is money for drinking," Naruto said angrily. "They were probably hired by Cat. He is a businessman and he doesn't benefit from us finishing the bridge," said Tazuna. "We can safely abandon the mission," Kakashi said. "We can't. If you have money for people, we can train kenjutsu on them," said Naruto. "Well, or we can meet an enemy that is a good opponent for me," said Naruto, thinking about it. "Naruto, this is not a joke for you," said Kakashi. Sakura and Sasuke were silent. They remembered how Naruto had taught Sakura a lesson. It took her a week to recover from the blow. Okay, but I'm sure the others also agree," Naruto said, looking at Sakura and Sasuke. They just nodded in confirmation. "All right, since everyone agrees, let's be on our way," said Kakashi. "Well, I will seal them and then sell them," said Naruto. But no one was surprised by these words anymore and no one objected. After 4 hours of walking, Naruto and Kakashi noticed a very dense fog that did not dissipate. They suspected something was wrong, which made everyone tense up. And a large sword flew toward them. "Get down!" Kakashi shouted. Naruto went into fox mode and pushed the sword away. "Oh, Kakashi Hatake copying ninjas," Zabuza said. "Everyone stay away from him, he is one of the mist swordsmen, he is very dangerous," Kakashi shouted. Sasuke and Sakura stood up for Tazuna. "Zabuza, fight me and we will find out in Mortal Kombat who has the best taijutsu," Naruto shouted. "Boy, who the hell are you?" said Zabuza. Then Naruto appeared in front of Zabuza in fox mode with 6 katanas. "What, where did you get this mode?" asked Zabuza. "I was trained by foxes," said Naruto. "So you have their style," said Zabuza. "Yes, both of them," Naruto said. "I have heard of them and I know that they are very hard to get. I also know that the strongest fox man had 3 tails and had 2 styles," said Zabuza. "Do you have them too?" asked Zabuza. "Yes, and I can also mix them," said Naruto. "I see, and since when did you learn them?" asked Zabuza. "It doesn't matter," said Naruto. "Well, do you accept the challenge?" Naruto asked. "This fight will probably be the last," said Zabuza. "Yes, I accept your challenge, but on one condition, that you keep my partner alive," said Zabuza. "Okay, let's have fun," shouted Naruto. Then he ran to attack Zabuza. Naruto decided to start by attacking and at least he would mix styles. He decided to attack at first not with his full strength. Zabuza managed to parry all the blows, but he couldn't land any blows. As Naruto began to speed up, Zabuza found it harder and harder to deflect the blows and soon began to cut himself. Realizing that things were getting really bad, Zabuza started using water techniques, but Naruto was helped by Kakashi who neutralized or blocked these techniques. Naruto on his part got angry because Zabuza started using sword fighting techniques and started to fight full out. He started circling around his enemy and created 6 clones. Naruto thought it was only fair, since Zabuza was using techniques he was allowed to. The clones and Naruto began to strike in turn, and as Zabuza deflected the blows, the original and the 6 clones thrust their katanas at him. Zabuza fell to his knees and was bleeding. Naruto scattered the clones and put Zabuza on the ground. "You were a good opponent, Naruto," Zabuza said with a smile on his face. "You too, thanks for the fight. You should have known you were going to lose from the beginning," Naruto said. "Yeah, I was tired of living so I decided to take the fight, but it was fun," said Zabuza, closing his eyes. "As I promised, I won't touch your partner," Naruto said. Zabuza's partner appeared in front of them. "I feel sorry for him, but he would be happy to die," said Naruto. "I know, thank you for releasing him," said the man. "What is your name?" Naruto asked. "Haku," Haku said. Well, I promised him I wouldn't hurt you. I'll take the sword and the body if you don't mind. Naruto said. Since you defeated him, take it, it's your right, I have nothing else to live for. Said Haku. If you want you can come with me. Said Naruto. But since you are from Konoha, they will lock me up right away. Said Haku. Anyway, go now and in the evening I will bring you a note. This is the place where I will be soon, in the forest I will wait for an answer. Said Naruto. Okay, in the forest I will be waiting for you. Said Haku, disappearing. Naruto quickly sealed Zabuza and the sword. Kakashi and his companions ran towards him. Naruto, who was that? Kakashi asked. It was the Anbu, he took Zabuza. Naruto said. Good. Kakashi said. So he's dead? Kakashi asked. Yes, he was a good opponent, but I was strong. Naruto said. Did you kill the mist swordsman? Sakura asked. Yes, why, is something wrong? Naruto asked. She's just surprised, that's all. Kakashi said, smiling with his eyes. How strong you are. Kakashi thought to himself. Well, let's go to your village. Naruto said. I'm far away from him. Sasuke said to himself. After a couple of hours they arrived at the village. When they arrived at Tazuna's house they were greeted by his daughter. Welcome, I am Tsunami. Said the girl. Nice to meet you. Said the others. Now there will be dinner, and you will sleep upstairs, there you will make your own decisions. Said Tsunami. Okay. Kakashi said. After dinner and everyone started to go to their dormitories, but Naruto was not going to bed, he went to the forest, saying that he would go to train at night. Everyone believed him, but Kakashi suspected something, but he didn't follow him, because it could have ended badly. Naruto wandered in the forest for 40 minutes, until he saw Haku. He stared up at the sky. Haku, you have come. Naruto said. Yes, I made the decision to join you, no matter what your goals are I will be loyal to you. Said Haku. Okay, let me just put a seal on you. Naruto asked. I hope you don't want to completely suppress my feelings. Haku said warily. No, with this mark you will still be yourself, only you will always follow my orders, and if you decide to disobey or tell about the mark, I will kill you. Besides, it is necessary that you do not kill those I care about in that village. Naruto said. If I am still in my senses then fine. Said Haku. Are you sure? Asked Naruto. If I put it you will always listen to me and serve me until you die. Said Naruto. I'm sure, I've lived my whole life as a weapon anyway. Said Haku. Okay, when I put the seal you will forget about it and you will know that you have to serve me. Said Naruto. Okay. Said Haku, turning to Naruto. After Naruto put the seal on him, Haku fell down and was unconscious for 10 minutes. When he woke up he saw Naruto. Naruto-sama, what are you doing here? Haku asked. Haku, you remember everything. Actually I'm going to give you a note now, go to the address and give it to Tsunade later. You will have to serve her temporarily, she is a good woman and don't you dare offend her. I have also put a god flight mark on you, if you need help put chakra on it. I hope you won't let me down, now go there. Naruto said and then went inside. Hi, Naruto himself. Haku said, after which he looked at the address and left. Naruto returned to the house and no one noticed anything strange. A month later the bridge was finished. All this time Kakashi had been training Sasuke and Sakura. On the last day of construction Kat and his men arrived at the bridge, about 100 of them. This will be a good warm-up. Naruto said. After creating 3 large fireballs, almost all of them died. The last few he took care of with his katanas. When he approached Kat, Kat started begging for mercy and offered him money, but Naruto stabbed him in the heart with his katana. Finishing the bridge, Team 7 inches headed for the village. Examination. After a couple of days of travel, Haku arrived in the mist. He started looking for the place where Tsunade resides. Then he saw this house and knocked on the door. Hello, said Tsunade as she opened the door. Do you need something? She asked. Hello, aren't you Tsunade? Haku asked. Yes, answered Tsunade. Good, then I come from Naruto himself, he gave you a note and I order you to fulfill all your orders until he appears. Haku said with a smile. Naruto? Tsunade asked surprised. Yes, Naruto himself gave you this note. Haku said holding the note out to her. Well, come into the living room then. Tsunade said. I hope you explain everything to me in this note. Tsunade said to herself. Then she entered the house and started to read the note. Naruto's diary was also sealed in the note. Naruto at that time was at home and was just resting. He was waiting for the Chunin exam to be over. So, if I want to see him and talk to him I have to ask to pour Haku's chakra into the seal. Tsunade thought to herself. At that moment, Haku was sitting talking to Shizune. Haku, please pour chakra into the seal. Tsunade said. But Naruto himself, he said to pour it only in case of danger. Haku said. Haku, that is an order. Tsunade said, raising her voice a little. Hi, said Haku and then poured chakra into the seal. Naruto immediately felt it and teleported to Haku. Haku, why did you summon Haku? Naruto said, preparing to fight. Naruto himself, Tsunade ordered it. Said Haku. Tsunade. Said Naruto looking around. Well, hello godson. Said Tsunade with a smile. After these words Tsunade approached Naruto and began to hug him tightly. Shizune just looked at him with a smile and Naruto lost his sense of anger and went back to being the same boy as always. You have changed very well. Said Tsunade. You have not changed at all. Said Naruto with a smile. Come on, let's talk, you tell me everything and Shizune will stay with Haku. Said Tsunade taking Naruto out of the room. Naruto and Tsunade went to their room where Naruto started to tell the whole story. So you decided to destroy Konoha after all? Tsunade said. Yes, but not now. Naruto said. But I will escape soon. He said. I see, said Tsunade thoughtfully. Who is the Mizukage now? Naruto asked. Mei Terumi, the last one to die. Tsunade said. Mei. Naruto said blushing. So now she is Mizukage, you can talk about me. Said Naruto blushing. What, do you like her? Tsunade asked with a smile on her ears. What makes you think that? Naruto said surprised. It's okay, I won't touch you. I'll talk to her, I think she'll help you, if you become a mist shinobi of course. I need to know when you will leave the village approximately. Tsunade said. I will leave the village after the Chunin exam or during. Then I will destroy the village. Said Naruto. Okay then tomorrow I will go to Mei's house and talk to her. Said Tsunade. Maybe you want to leave her a message or a gift. Said Tsunade with a smile. No. Said Naruto blushing even more. You can tell her yourself. What's wrong with Haku? Tsunade asked. She has my seal of submission, I put it on her so she wouldn't want to kill you. Naruto said. And how many people wear that seal? Tsunade asked. Actually I can only put it on 10 people, and it was put on 5. 3 on some Anbu, 1 on Haku, Zabuza's assistant and 1 on Neji Hyuga of the lower branch. Naruto said. Well, you should go then. See you soon Naruto. Said Tsunade giving Naruto a kiss on the forehead. After that Naruto traveled home. Due to the long distance of the trip he spent a lot of chakra and went to sleep. The next day, Tsunade went to see the Mizukage. As she entered the office, she started a conversation. Mei, I have a very serious conversation with you. Tsunade said. What is it about? Mei asked, tensing up a little. About Naruto. Tsunade said. Naruto, what's wrong with him? Mei asked, blushing. Tsunade started telling the whole story from the beginning and explained all the details. So what do you say, will you accept Naruto in your village? Tsunade asked. I will have to think about it. Mei said. What do you offer in return, because it could start a war? Mei said. He will become a shinobi of your village and help you, he wants to become your personal assistant and confidant. You can test him, but according to his stories he is stronger than almost any shinobi. Tsunade said in a serious tone. Okay, I agree, I will trust you. I hope you are not lying about his strength. Mei said. You are already looking forward to meeting him. Tsunade said with a smile. No, go ahead. Mei said. Very good, the same Mei. Said Tsunade with a sneer. At that moment, Haku was running some errands for Shizune and Tsunade decided to stop by for a bite to eat. At the same time in Konoha, Kakashi was gathering everyone at the shooting range. Guys, I have gathered you all together to inform you about the Chunin exam. Kakashi said. Finally. Naruto said to himself. In order to participate you have to sign these papers. Said Kakashi and then handed the papers to everyone. What if not everyone agrees? Sakura asked. Then they won't be able to participate. Kakashi said. But we will all agree. Said Naruto looking at Sakura. Right Sakura? Naruto asked. Yes, we all agree. Said Sakura. Good, then tomorrow I will wait for the signed documents at the academy. Kakashi said. After that everyone dispersed and Naruto turned to Haku. Where is Tsunade? Naruto asked. She is in her room. Haku said. Naruto ran to Tsunade's room. Without knocking he entered and saw Tsunade and Shizune lying on the same bed. The two immediately turned their attention to him and began to cover themselves. Naruto was shocked by what he saw and could do nothing. Tsunade knocked him out with one punch. Naruto woke up in Tsunade's bed 2 hours later, with Tsunade sitting next to him. Tsunade, why did you knock me out? Naruto asked. Why were you just standing there watching? Tsunade asked. Well, it was the first time I saw a woman like that. Said Naruto blushing. Well now you will know that you should always knock and wait for a response. Said Tsunade with a smile. And by the way, why did you come, is it urgent? She asked. After tomorrow is the Chunin exam, that means that in a month I will be running away. Said Naruto. Okay then I will tell Mei. Said Tsunade. Did you talk to her about me? Naruto asked. Yes, she doesn't mind, but only if you become a mist shinobi and help her. Tsunade said. Okay, I accept those conditions, well, now I'm going. Said Naruto and then disappeared. After that, Tsunade and Shizune thought about the lock. In the evening, Tsunade went and told everything to Mei. Alright then, we'll get ready for the day. Mei said. The next day Naruto and his team brought the documents. Kakashi told them where and what time the exam would be. After that the three went to prepare for the exam. The next day, the three went to the academy. Well, we are in room 303, Sasuke said. As they went up to the second floor, they saw that everyone was crowded around room 202. This is not the right room, let's go up. Said Naruto. There it is written. Sakura exclaimed. Let's go upstairs. Said Naruto. Come on, this is the wrong room. Said Sasuke looking at the room with his Sharingan. Going further up they entered the office. There was a crowd there, and the three of them started looking at each other and whispering. A man with glasses approached them. Hello, my name is Yakushi Kabuto. He said. What do you want? Sasuke asked. Naruto walked over to the wall and sat there. It's your first time in the exam, I have useful information about each participant. Kabuto said. I want to know information about Naruto. Said Sasuke. Let's see, the missions are all almost lower rank. Said Kabuto. But there is more information that he killed Danzo the root leader and also killed his mother Kushina Uzumaki. Said Kabuto surprised. I see, then there is no useful information. Said Sasuke, after which he left. Sakura was surprised at what was said, she thought it was just a joke about Naruto. 10 minutes later a man with scars on his face entered the classroom. My name is Ibiki, I will be your first examiner. The first task will be a test, there will be 9 written questions and an oral one at the end. You can't cheat in the exam, if you get caught twice you will drop out of the exam with your team. He said. Everyone in the class started whispering but no one asked questions. Ibiki started handing out questions to everyone. They were difficult for the genin, as they had not passed them. But Naruto successfully solved them in 5 minutes and then went to sleep. Sakura tried to solve them on her own, and Sasuke used his Sharingan to copy them to Naruto. Ibiki saw Naruto and decided to scare him by releasing an ominous aura, but Naruto didn't even pay attention to it. It took about 20 commands in half an hour and after 15 minutes Ibiki started to speak. Now I will ask the last question, but if you don't answer it, you won't be able to become Chunin again. But you can go and take the exam next time. Ibiki said, releasing an ominous chakra. Naruto paid no attention to her and calmed down. Looking at him, his team also calmed down. The genin began to leave the auditorium. 5 minutes later, 8 more teams left the classroom. All those who stayed in the classroom have passed. Ibiki said. Everyone began to whisper. And the 10th question? Asked one of the genin. There is none, said Ibiki. Then a girl flew into the office, breaking the window. Meeting in the forest. A girl flew in through the window, breaking it. My name is Mitarashi Anko, and I will be your examiner for the second stage. She said. Anko, you could have come in through the door, said Ibiki angrily. Oh come on, said Anko with a smile. The second stage will be tomorrow at the 44th polygon, plus instructions tomorrow. Come at 10 o'clock in the morning. She said. Any questions? Asked Anko. The class began to whisper and Ibiki started to pick up the papers. When she saw Naruto's work she was surprised. If there are no questions, you can go, Anko said. When everyone started to leave, Naruto decided to go to the stew room. Sasuke and Sakura went to his house. When he arrived at the ramen room, he was greeted by Kyuki. Oh, Naruto, it's been a long time since you've been here. Kyuki said with a smile. Yes, I left the village to train. Naruto said. Oh, I see, said Kyuki. Is that usual for you? He asked. Yes, said Naruto. How are your sales going? He asked. With the Chunin exam, more people started coming, said Kyuki. By the way, I'm sure you're taking the exam too, aren't you? Asked the old man. Yes, I'm going to take it, said Naruto. How did it go? Asked Kyuki. Well, the first stage is done, now there are 2 more to go, I think. Shouldn't be a problem I guess. Naruto said. By the way, where is Ayame? I don't see her. He said. She was sick and congratulations on your success and good luck, said Kyuki. Thanks old man, said Naruto. After an hour of talking and eating Naruto went home. Meanwhile in the mist Tsunade was in Mei's office. Tsunade, are you sure he will serve the village? Mei asked. Yes, I am completely sure, but there is a good chance that war will break out. Tsunade said. I realize that very well. Mei said. What do you plan to do? Tsunade asked. I think we should gather the council, where I will tell them everything. Mei said. Well, is it necessary for me to be there? Tsunade asked. I think I will call you. Mei said. When do you plan to meet? Tsunade asked. I think tomorrow. Mei said. Okay, I'll go then. Tsunade said with a smile. Yes, you can go. Mei said smiling back. The next day, Naruto went to the stage location. There his team was already waiting for him. Naruto, what took you so long? Sakura asked. I arrived on time, said Naruto sitting next to a tree and closing his eyes. It is well, it is well. Sakura said, remembering that it was better not to argue with him. 10 minutes later Anko began to speak. Good, they are all here, said Anko. Now you will be given a scroll to each team. There will be 2 types of scrolls, heaven and earth. Your task will be to find the scroll you need and then get to the central tower. You will have 5 days to complete the task. Now come on, sign the papers, we are not responsible, and take the scrolls. Also the scrolls cannot be opened, those who open a scroll will be immediately disqualified. Also, only a team of 3 will pass, said Anko. After that everyone started taking the scrolls and signing the papers. We have the scroll of the land, said Sasuke. I see, let me keep the scroll, said Naruto. Okay, said Sasuke. Okay, said Sakura. After 10 minutes all the teams stood at the different entrances. Then Anko gave a signal and all the teams started to move. Sasuke and Sakura started to move behind Naruto. Naruto, where do we run to? Asked Sasuke. We have to find some equipment to get the scroll before they can hide. Naruto said. I see, said Sasuke. Sakura for her part was quiet, she was afraid to say or suggest anything and just moved. After 10 minutes of beating they found some kind of stone team. Naruto decided to deal with them quickly and not to spend too much chakra. Wait for me here, I'll go take care of them. Naruto said. Okay, said Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto jumped towards them, they immediately prepared to fight. Guys, why don't you give me the scroll and I won't torture you? Said Naruto. No, and in case you haven't noticed, we are 3 and you are 1. Said one of them. Okay, then I'll have to torture you. Naruto said, activating the Mangekyo. The genin didn't think Naruto was from the Uchiha clan and looked him in the eyes. Naruto immediately put them in a genjutsu where they were tortured. After a couple of minutes, they couldn't take so much emotional stress and passed out. Naruto removed the genjutsu from them and took the scroll from them. Luckily for Naruto, they had the Sky Scroll and did not have to search for more commands. It was possible to quickly finish the stage and head towards the tower. Seeing Naruto take the scroll, they approached him. Naruto, what did you do to them? Asked Sakura. You must have submerged them in genjutsu. Said Sasuke. Yes, I dipped them in genjutsu. They only suffered an emotional shock. Said Naruto. What kind of scroll did they have? Sasuke asked. Niba, now we can go to the tower. Said Naruto. Well, let's go then. Said Sasuke. Sakura didn't say anything, because she was scared and felt useless. The team set off. But after 10 minutes of traveling, they were greeted by a girl with a long tongue. Children, hand over your scroll. She hissed. And if we don't, what will happen? Naruto asked. I will kill you. She hissed with a smile. She then attacked Naruto in a melee. Sasuke tried to hit her with a fireball, but then activated his Sharingan. You two are interesting, but I only want him. She hissed, pointing at Sasuke. Okay, but only when you're dead. Naruto said, activating the Mangekyo. You're an Uchiha too. She hissed in surprise. And I will kill you. Naruto said with a smile. The woman used the summoning and called a snake, ordered to take care of those two, and attacked Naruto. But Naruto dodged all the blows and went on the attack. He dipped her in genjutsu and then cut off her head with a katana. But she managed to get out of genjutsu and make a snake clone. Naruto was surprised and she shed her skin. She was one of Orochimaru's legendary Sannin. You're a strong boy, and you're also an Uchiha. Said the Sannin. What is your name? Orochimaru asked. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, but why know my name if you are going to die now? Naruto asked with a smile. We'll see about that. Sannin hissed, pulling out a kusanagi. Okay. Naruto said, picking up 2 katanas. They engaged in a kenjutsu fight. Though the fight was evenly matched, Naruto was still dominating. He killed Orochimaru a couple of times, but he always used snake clones or changed his skin. At the same time, Sasuke and Sakura were barely hanging on against the snake. Sasuke was very exhausted. Naruto saw this and created a clone that went into fox mode and went after the snake. Wow, fox mode. This is the first time I've seen it, but I've heard a lot about it. So you still have a lot of hidden cards? Orochimaru hissed. Of course I do. Naruto said. Naruto launched a fireball at Orochimaru, followed by water bullets. But the Sannin was changing. Okay kid, I'll do something and leave. Said the Sannin. Naruto didn't want to take Sannin seriously because he wasn't his target and he didn't care about the team. What do you want besides Uchiha? Naruto asked. I'm going to destroy this village, that's my main goal. Said Orochimaru. Destroy the village you mean? Naruto said to himself. Sannin's neck started to lengthen and he was getting closer and closer to Sasuke. Naruto realized it late, he was deep in his thoughts. Sannin bit Sasuke, leaving a mark there. Naruto on the other hand approached Orochimaru and put his mark on him. Orochimaru didn't notice this and walked away. Naruto approached Sasuke and examined the mark. And he put a kind of seal on it. What did you do? Sakura asked excitedly. I put a seal, it's supposed to hold the seal, but I don't know. Said Naruto. Will he be okay? Sakura asked with a trembling voice. I don't know, it depends on the type of body she has. Said Naruto. Okay, well I'll seal it and we'll head towards the tower. If we leave now, we will arrive in about 2 hours. He said. Okay. Sakura said. The two headed towards the tower. On the way they only met animals. Naruto used his eyes to subdue them. After 2.5 hours they arrived at the tower. They were greeted by Kakashi. "Where is Sasuke?" he asked. "There he is. He was marked by the snake Sannin. I put a seal on him, but I don't know if it worked or not." Naruto said. "Good, then go to the tower here for 5 more days," said Kakashi. "Okay," Naruto said. They walked to the tower and Kakashi went to look for Sasuke around. Naruto decided to look for a place where there was no one. After 10 minutes of walking around, he placed a tag on the tower and teleported to Sannin. He appeared behind Orochimaru. Orochimaru sensed him and turned around. "Boy, are you coming to surrender?" Sannin asked. "No, I have a request for you and of course it will be to your benefit," said Naruto. "Well, what kind?" Sannin hissed. "Not only did you go in after the Uchiha, you surely want to attack the village," said Naruto. "Well, maybe I do," hissed the Sannin. "You're going to help me escape," Naruto said. "That's a serious request. What exactly do you want?" Sannin asked. "I need a place to hide for a couple of days and then I'll leave. Well, as you may have noticed, I will run away after your attack," Naruto said. Interesting request," said the Sannin. "And what can you offer me?" Orochimaru asked. "I'll get you the Uchiha and another one of the Hyuga," said Naruto. "Are you serious, kid? If you only take the Uchiha, where are you going to get the Hyuga?" said Orochimaru. "I have a Hyuga under my command, but I'm not going to give him away. I'll bring you the heiress of the clan," Naruto said. "Why don't you want to hand over your subordinate?" asked Orochimaru. "Well, he is more capable and I don't feel sorry for him," said Naruto. "I agree, then in the final stage over the Chunin we will have an attack. At night I will send people for you, they will be waiting for you in the Valley of Completion. You must have Uchiha and Hyuga, but not sealed," Orochimaru hissed with a smile. "Alright, that's how it will be done," Naruto said. "I'll be waiting," Orochimaru hissed. "I'll be going then, I hope you don't cheat," Naruto said and then teleported to his mark. 5 days later all the genin were gathered in the hall. 5 days have passed, those of you who are here now have passed this phase, but there are too many of you and so we will have one-on-one combat. Those of you who don't have the desire or strength to fight, you cannot participate and you won't let the team down," Enko said. The genin started to think, but only 5 raised their hands. Among them were the Sound Shinobi, Kabuto and 1 genin. "Very well, now the computer will assign who will fight whom," Enko said. "And I will be monitoring the fight. It will continue until someone gives up or passes out. Also, if I see that your opponent can't defend himself, I can end the fight. You can use any technique you want," she said. Sasuke on his part woke up and during this time and participated in the examination. Kakashi only allowed him if he did not use a large amount of chakra. Sasuke agreed. Sakura was against it because she didn't want to get hurt, but she was afraid to say it. The computer revealed the first names. "The first to fight will be Naruto Uzumaki and Kiba Inuzuka, please come down," Enko said. They came down and faced each other. "Surrender or you will get hurt, after all you never came to the academy," said Kiba. "I wanted to tell you the same thing," said Naruto. "Well, get ready," said Kiba. Enko gave the order to start. Kiba attacked Naruto with taijutsu, but none of Kiba's blows hit Naruto. "Oh, you made me angry," Kiba shouted. "Let's go," Naruto said. "Gatsuga," Kiba shouted. Whereupon he and his dog began to turn at high speed and flew towards Naruto. "Weak," Naruto said, creating a shadow clone. The clone stayed in place and Naruto hid behind it. After a while Kiba collided with Naruto's clone, the clone disappeared. "Well, I got you now," said Kiba. "Yes," said Naruto hitting Kiba on the head. He in turn flew into another wall. The dog stayed where it was. Naruto activated the Mangekyo and subdued the dog. "Give up or you will have to fight your dog," Naruto said with a smile. "I surrender," Kiba shouted, barely standing up. "The winner is Naruto Uzumaki," said Enko. "I warned you," said Naruto, canceling the submission. "Next time I will beat you," Kiba shouted. Next time I will kill you, said Naruto. Go away all of you, said Anko. Naruto turned to his team. Naruto, why are you attracting so much attention? Kakashi asked. I just told it like it is, Naruto said. But you will be considered dangerous to everyone, Sakura said. No problem, said Naruto. All the genin were discussing about Naruto and didn't want to be caught against him. Orochimaru watched this with a smile. He followed Sasuke there. Sasuke and the shinobi on the ground entered the arena next. Prepare to be defeated, said the genin. Ditto, said Sasuke. Anko gave the order to begin the fight. Sasuke activated his Sharingan and began to attack his opponent. The genin from the ground managed to dodge some of Sasuke's blows, but Sasuke dominated. He got a weak opponent and dealt with him using taijutsu. Orochimaru was happy and sad at the same time. He wanted to see how his mark worked in action, but he didn't see it, which made him sad. But he was glad that his experiment survived, after which he left. The winner is Sasuke Uchiha, Anko said. Then she went back to the team. Well done Sasuke, said Kakashi. You were really great, Sakura said happily. He was weak, I was lucky, said Sasuke. In the next fight, Rock Lee and Gaara fought. Rock Lee tried to hit Gaara, but Gaara was protected by the arena. When Lee took off the weights he became several times faster, but this speed was still not enough and rather Gaara caught Lee in the sand and began to squeeze him. Anko managed to stop the fight. A few more seconds and Gaara would have killed Lee. Sakura and Ino fought next. Ino tried to transfer her mind to Sakura but failed. They fought in taijutsu and after a few minutes both fell. Both were disqualified. Another fight Naruto remembered, Neji against Hinata. Well, let's see how strong she is, Naruto said to himself. The fight started, both activated their Byakugan but Neji dominated and then started hitting chakra points. He almost hit all the points but was stopped. Naruto didn't continue anymore, he was getting bored of watching them. An hour later they started announcing who had moved on to the next round. The third round went to Uzumaki Naruto, Sasuke Uchiha, Gaara Sabakuno, Shikamaru Nara, Neji Hyuga, Choji Akamichi, Shino Aburame and Kankuro. The rest of the contestants can attend as fans. Congratulations to all for moving on to the next stage. It will be held in a month, the exact place and time will be told to you by your mentor. Now let's go, said Anko. After that everyone started to disperse. Naruto decided to go to the hot springs. When he got there, he saw an old man looking at the girls and muttering something. Naruto recognized him as Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin. He had also visited Naruto and Kushina a few times and was also a godfather. Yes, good stuff, Jiraiya said blushing. Hello old man, Naruto said. Shish you, said Jiraiya, not taking his eyes off the view. How many are there? Naruto asked. It's 5, Jiraiya said wiping his nose. Alright, if you want to say hello, come visit Uzumaki, Naruto said smiling. Uzumaki what? Jiraiya asked turning around. But before he could do anything Naruto sent him to the spring girls. Have fun Jiraiya, Naruto said. Then he went to the locker room and teleported to his house. Jiraiya, before he could do anything, was kicked in the head by the 5 of them. You old pervert, shouted the girls in turn. Jiraiya couldn't do anything because he was admiring the girls, but he soon realized the situation and started to run away. Child, Jiraiya said. After 10 minutes he was able to run away. I was talking to the Uzumaki house, is it really Naruto? Jiraiya said to himself in surprise. Naruto meanwhile started cooking dinner and made 2 servings. And after a few seconds Jiraiya knocked on the door. Naruto opened the door and let him in. Naruto, is that you? Said Jiraiya. Yes, it's been a while since you stopped by. Naruto said. Well yeah, where's Kushina? Jiraiya asked. You don't know? Naruto asked. No, said Jiraiya. But what's wrong? He asked. Sit down, I'll tell you everything. Naruto said. Naruto started to tell the whole story from the beginning, but he didn't say anything about the escape. I see, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Jiraiya said. It's okay, I'm over it. Naruto said. Then they were talking for quite a while. Do you know where Tsunade is? Jiraiya asked, because he knew she lived in Konoha. Now she lives in the mist with Shizune. Naruto said. But how did that happen? Jiraiya asked. Maybe someday you'll find out. Naruto said. His face didn't change in emotion the whole time. I wonder what happened to him. Jiraiya thought to himself. Why did you come back? Naruto asked. I'm collecting materials for my book. Jiraiya said. Isn't there an exam right now? Sannin asked. Yes there is, I passed the final stage. Naruto said. Oh, good for you. Said Jiraiya patting Naruto on the shoulder. Maybe I should train you. Jiraiya asked. No, I don't need your training. I'm strong enough without them. Naruto said. Well, I won't bother you, I'm going now. Jiraiya said. Yeah, okay, bye. Naruto said. Jiraiya left to the hotel and Naruto went to meet Neji. When he arrived at the training ground where the meeting would be held, he saw Neji. Neji, what can you tell me about Hinata? Naruto asked. She is not very strong and has a small amount of techniques. To her eyes, she has hardly learned any techniques. She is also very much in love with you. That's all I can say about her. Neji said. In love with me? Naruto asked. Yes, when she sees you she blushes all the time and doesn't talk about you, she never shows it anymore. Neji said. I see. Naruto said. Do you study her normal daily life in detail? Naruto asked. She walks with me all the time. Said Neji. And what do you need that information for? Neji asked. To kidnap her. Naruto said. Will you need help? Neji asked. No, after the kidnapping I will not return to this village. Naruto said. What should we do? Neji asked. You stay here and gather information and I'll take it from you. You don't want to attract too much attention. If they find out you're with me, then destroy your body and tell the others. Naruto said. And now you can be free, don't stop chatting with Hinata. He said. Hi. Said Neji and then disappeared. In a month of Jiraiya, Naruto found out about Akatsuki and told him that he was going to escape. Jiraiya didn't say anything, but promised not to tell anything to the bosses, because he saw that he was not happy here. The day of the examination and escape came. Naruto knew that an attack would start during the fights. But Orochimaru's plans were ruined because the Raikage had arrived. He would interfere in the assassination of the Hokage. The first fight was Kankuro against Shino. Shino tried to attack Kankuro, but Kankuro fought off all the bugs. After 5 minutes, Shino gave up. The next fight is Uzumaki Naruto against Gaara. Said the examiner. Naruto knew he had to be eliminated himself. So he didn't fight seriously, but rather taunting him with small attacks. 5 minutes later, Gaara was taken by a one-tailed Shukaku and Gaara began to transform. He then started an attack in the stadium. Orochimaru realized that his plan wasn't going to work, so he left and attacked with a rock. Naruto also realized this and ran out of the stadium. The Sound and Stone Shinobi began to fight, but not a large number of them, and soon Konoha defeated the enemy army with few losses. Thank you Raikage for your help. Hiruzen said. Come on, it's just a trifle. Said I. And we apologize for it. Said Hiruzen. During this fight, the Sand Cage who was also helping them was killed. Naruto for his part sealed everything necessary in his house and began to wait for the right moment. Jiraiya approached him. Naruto, are you sure about your choice? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I am sure, and above all I have already promised Tsunade. Naruto said. And I will never go back on my words. He said. I see, it's your decision. Then I need to get out of the village too, or I'll be interrogated, and I wouldn't like that, and material to collect. Good luck to you, and maybe I'll stop by someday. Jiraiya said with a smile. Good luck to you too, old man. Naruto said with a smile. Jiraiya saw Naruto smile for the first time in a month. An hour later Naruto went to find his targets. Earlier he had arranged with Neji to stay late with Hinata at the shooting range. He went to look for Sasuke. He was currently training at the number 2 shooting range. When he arrived, he saw that he was training new techniques and was already completely out of chakra. In a month he had learned to contain the seal. Naruto decided not to wait too long and approached Sasuke. "Oh, Naruto." Sasuke said. "Did you want something?" he asked. "You want to get stronger, don't you?" Naruto asked. "Yes," said Sasuke. "You want to train me?" he asked surprised. "No, but I have another suggestion," said Naruto. "And what is it?" Sasuke asked. "You will train with another man, he needs you more," Naruto said. Then he gave him a quick blow on the head. Sasuke didn't expect it and that's why he didn't do anything. Sasuke lost consciousness. "Good, now we just have to catch Hyuga," Naruto muttered. Sakura was watching and was surprised. She decided to report everything to the Hokage and ran away. Naruto paid no attention to her and went after Hyuga. When he arrived at the training ground, he saw that she was already lying unconscious and Neji was by her side. "Good job," Naruto said. "Thanks to you, Naruto," said Neji. "Well, I'll be going then. Maybe I'll see you someday," said Naruto. He took Hinata too and ran towards the Valley of Completion. At that moment Sakura ran to the Hokage's residence and started to report everything. "I see," said Hiruzen. Then, she gathered all the Jonin and their teams and ordered Naruto and Sasuke to return. They all set out on their way. During this time Naruto was already a decent distance from the village, but because of Sasuke and Hinata he didn't feel comfortable traveling, so he didn't run too fast. When he reached the length, he saw 3 silhouettes and felt chakra behind him. He immediately approached them. "Are you from Orochimaru?" Naruto asked. "Yes, and you are Naruto, right?" asked one of them. "Yes, I felt chakra behind me, do you have any way to escape quickly?" Naruto asked. "Yes, follow us," said the same one. They ran into the forest. After 5 minutes they led Naruto to a secret entrance. After they entered, the shinobi running after them lost them and did not realize where they could escape to. Lair. Upon entering the lair they were greeted by Kabuto. "So you are Orochimaru's subordinate?" Naruto said. "Yes, he is waiting for you. Come with me," said Kabuto. Naruto followed Kabuto. The whole shrine was subway and in the form of several mazes. After a few minutes, they arrived at Orochimaru's office. "Naruto, I've been waiting for you," hissed the Sannin. "Good, here is the Uchiha with Hyuga as promised," said Naruto, leaving them on the floor. Orochimaru walked over and examined them both. "Really, good job," said Orochimaru. "Now you're part of the deal," Naruto said. "Okay, Kabuto will escort you to your room. You can stay for a week," said Orochimaru. "Okay, but I want to talk to you," said Naruto. "About something important?" asked Orochimaru. "Well, you could say that," said Naruto. "Good, then come with me. Kabuto, stay here and keep an eye on them," said Orochimaru. "Okay, Orochimaru, on my own," Kabuto said. Naruto followed Orochimaru and Orochimaru took him to another room where there was nothing. "And what did you want to talk about?" Orochimaru asked. "I wanted to talk about further cooperation," Naruto said. "How interesting," hissed the Sannin. "And what would our cooperation be?" he asked. "You and I have the same goal. We can combine our powers, we can also help each other. I think if you agree we will work together," Naruto said. "That's it?" Orochimaru asked. "Yes, but there is one condition," said Naruto. "And what is it?" Orochimaru asked. "I will put the mark of obedience on Kabuto," Naruto said. "But why would you do that?" Orochimaru asked with a hiss. "I want to have my own man here. So that you won't make plans against me, and I will give him an order to carry out all your orders, and if he disobeys my orders, he will die," Naruto said. "But how will it work?" Sannin asked. "When I put the mark on him, he will remember everything, but in his subconscious he will know that he has to carry out all my orders. He won't even realize it, but if someone wants to break the seal, he will die," Naruto said. "I have to think about it, but the offer is tempting," said Orochimaru. "Are these all the conditions to start our cooperation?" he asked. "Yes," said Naruto. "Do you have any conditions?" he asked. "I'll think about it, but for now I'm fine with these two," Orochimaru hissed. "Okay, then let's go back," said Naruto. "Let's go," said the Sannin. They went back to the studio. Sasuke and Hinata were tied up and Kabuto was sitting on a chair. Kabuto, take Naruto to his room, said Sannin. Okay Orochimaru-sama, said Kabuto. In principle we can agree with him, said Orochimaru to himself. Come with me, Kabuto said. Naruto followed Kabuto, who didn't say a word. How long have you been Orochimaru's servant? Naruto asked. 2 years ago, Kabuto said. How are you doing, are you happy with it? Naruto asked. It's none of your business, said Kabuto nervously. All right, said Naruto. After a few minutes they arrived at the room. This is where you will live for a while, said Kabuto and then started to leave. I see, thank you, Naruto said. There was nothing extra in the room, just the necessary furniture. Naruto lay down on the bed and fell unconscious. Then he turned to the fox. Wow, Kurama said. Why are you here? He asked. I came to talk to you, Naruto said. And what am I supposed to talk to you about? Said the fox. Have you thought about helping me? Naruto asked. I thought about it and came up with an answer, Kurama said with a smile. And what is your answer? Naruto asked. I will help you if you kill the masked one. He subjugated me then and because of him I'm here in this stinking cage, Kurama said angrily. And before that won't you help me? Naruto asked. Since it is in my interest I will help you, but I will not give you all my power, but only half. And about Orochimaru I wouldn't trust him too much, he can easily trick you and bypass you, Kurama said. Alright, I'll listen to you and be more careful with him, Naruto said. Do you have any idea where that masked man might be? He asked. I don't know, but ask Orochimaru, he might know, Kurama said. Okay, I'll ask him tomorrow, said Naruto. By the way, maybe you can let me out of this cage already, Kurama said. I have to break the seal, right? Naruto asked. Yes, don't worry I won't try to possess you, said the fox with a smile. Okay, but you should know that I can also use my eyes, Naruto said with a smile. Damn you damn Uchiha. Open up at once, Kurama said. It's okay, Naruto said. He approached the seal and removed it, then the cage opened and the fox was free. But he did nothing. That's it, you can get out of here now, said the fox, bringing Naruto back to reality. I'm finally getting closer to the fox's help, Naruto said to himself. After saying that, he fell asleep. At that time in Konoha, the Hokage created search teams to look for Naruto. In the morning Naruto woke up and went to Orochimaru's office. Upon entering the room, he saw Orochimaru examining the eyes of the two men. Their mouths were closed to prevent them from screaming and they could only twitch. In the room was also Kabuto, who was merely watching them. Hello Orochimaru, Naruto said. Hello Naruto, said Orochimaru. Let's step back and talk, said Sannin. That's fine, said Naruto. I hope he agrees, he said to himself. They walked to the same room they were in yesterday and Kabuto was ordered to follow them too. What did you want to talk about? Naruto asked. Me about your proposal, Orochimaru said. Did you accept my offer? Naruto asked. You might as well say that, hissed the Sannin. And what does that mean? Naruto asked. I have a favor to ask of you, hissed Sannin. Is it something serious? Naruto asked. Well, I don't know how much trouble it will cause you, said Orochimaru. Speak up Orochimaru, Naruto said, starting to worry. You'll have to put the seal on Sasuke too, said Orochimaru. I see, and with Hyuga, what will happen? Naruto asked. As an apology for such an unexpected request, I will transplant his eyes to Kabuto, Orochimaru said. Are you sure they will work properly? Naruto asked. More than sure, said Orochimaru. Naruto, he's not lying, Kurama said in his subconscious. Okay, I agree, said Naruto. Alright then, let's go with them, said Orochimaru. Yes, but first I will put a seal on Kabuto, said Naruto. Okay, Orochimaru hissed. They went back to the room and approached Kabuto. Is something wrong? Kabuto asked. No, it's just that we cooperated, Orochimaru said. Yes, and now we need you. Naruto said. But what do you need me for? Said Kabuto tense. We'll just make you an obedient subordinate. Orochimaru hissed with a smile. What are you saying? Kabuto shouted. I'm sorry, Kabuto, hissed the Sannin. He then grabbed Kabuto and Naruto walked over to him and placed the seal of submission on him. Kabuto fainted. He is fine. The Sannin hissed. Yes, we just have to wait a bit and he will wake up. Naruto said. Okay, then we'll wait. Orochimaru hissed. 20 minutes later, Kabuto woke up. Naruto himself, what are your instructions? Kabuto asked. Just keep an eye on these two for now. Naruto said. Naruto and Orochimaru stepped aside. I see the etiquette is working. Orochimaru said. Yes, now I will give instructions and tag Sasuke and you go transplant Kabuto's Byakugan. Said Naruto. Yes, that's exactly right. Orochimaru hissed. They returned and Naruto gave instructions for Kabuto. You will have to follow Orochimaru's orders and also keep an eye on him. Naruto said, placing the mark of the god of death on him. If there is any danger or something important, put chakra in the mark. Naruto said. Hi, Naruto himself. Said Kabuto. Follow me. Said Orochimaru taking Hinata. Kabuto followed Orochimaru and Naruto started walking towards Sasuke. Naruto, but why did you do that? Sasuke asked. Why do you think? Naruto asked. It's because of the village, but we were nice to you. Sasuke said. I'm sorry, but it happened late, and I chose this path. Naruto said. Naruto, don't do it. Sasuke shouted. Naruto walked over and put the seal on. Sasuke fainted. The 3 seals were gone. We must use them wisely. Naruto said to himself. Meanwhile, Orochimaru began the eye transplant. After 30 minutes he finished and turned to Naruto. Naruto, meanwhile, was giving instructions to Sasuke and was going to go see Orochimaru afterwards. I'm done now. Naruto said. Me too, everything went smoothly. Said Orochimaru. What are you going to do with Hinata? Naruto asked. I don't know, I transplanted her Kabuto's eyes. She won't be accepted back into the clan and it doesn't make sense for her to return to the village. I think I will offer her to work with me. Orochimaru said. I see, well, do what you want with her, it's up to you. Said Naruto. I think that's enough business for today. Said Orochimaru with a smile. All right, said Naruto. By the way, I have a question for you, Orochimaru. He said. What is it about? Asked Orochimaru. Do you know anything about the masked man who attacked Konoha then with the help of the fox? Naruto asked. I know that he is a member of Akatsuki and he calls himself Tobi. Said Orochimaru. Okay, thanks for the information. Said Naruto. What do you want from him? Asked Orochimaru. Well, I want to kill him. Naruto said. Be careful with them. They are a strong organization. Said the Sannin. Okay, but that's for later. Naruto said and went to his room. Thus he spent 3 more days in Orochimaru's lair, then he prepared to leave. On his way to the village, Naruto sealed all his belongings and headed to Orochimaru's house. Hello Naruto. Sannin hissed. Hello Orochimaru. Naruto said. Are you leaving today? Sannin asked. Yes, I'm ready to leave. Naruto said. Are you going to walk? Asked Orochimaru. Well, yes, said Naruto. What about your moving technique? Orochimaru asked. I want to stretch my legs, maybe I'll meet someone from Konoha. Naruto said. Well, if you want to meet someone just move around. Orochimaru said with a smile. Does the seal work as it should? Naruto asked. Yes, it works perfectly. Orochimaru said. Very good. Said Naruto. And how is Kabuto's eye dominance going and how is Hinata doing? He asked. Kabuto is learning them little by little and Hinata realized her situation and decided to stay here. Sannin hissed. Alright then, I'm leaving. Naruto said. Alright, go. Said Orochimaru. Naruto walked out of Orochimaru's lair and into the fog. The Leaf Shinobi were still looking for Naruto, but they couldn't find him. They saw Chakra appear out of nowhere and went over there. The first to approach Naruto was a team led by Kurenai, Their team included Neji, Shino and Kiba. Naruto moved slowly so they could catch up to him. As this group approached him he saw Neji there. I guess I'll have to take him with me now that he's here, Naruto said to himself. They approached him and stopped. Naruto, don't do anything stupid and go back to the village, Kurenai shouted. Why would I do that? Naruto asked. Kurenai didn't know what to answer and remained silent. If you don't go yourself, I'll have to drag you away by force, Kiba shouted. Dogman, have you forgotten how I hit you? Naruto asked with a smile. And remember what I told you, if you fight me again, I'll kill you, he said. No way, there are 4 of us and you're on your own, said Kiba with confidence. Kiba, it's not that simple, Shino said. Are you sure there are 4 of you? Asked Naruto. Don't you see? Kiba asked. Neji, change of plans, you come with me, said Naruto. Yes, Naruto-sama, said Neji. Then he approached Naruto and stood next to him. Neji, come back, Kurenai shouted. I honestly have nothing to do there, said Neji. But you have friends and family here, said Kiba. I have no friends there, said Neji. Kiba, it's your decision, Shino said. If you leave, you will become a renegade, Kurenai said. Only for your village, Naruto said. If you have nothing else to say then we will kill you, Naruto said. We will kill you ourselves, Kiba shouted. No, you will just have to kill your dog, said Naruto. Let's retreat, Shino said. Kurenai didn't have time to answer before Kiba ran to Naruto. Naruto just activated the Mangekyo and looked Kiba's dog in the eyes. It started to attack Kiba. Why did you do that? Kurenai shouted. I told you what I was going to do, Naruto said. Kurenai, I don't advise you to attack us and run away, said Naruto. No, we can't leave when our partner is declining, said Kurenai. Then all of you will die, said Naruto. Neji, don't get into the fight, he said. Neji backed off and Naruto immediately went into fox mode. Kurenai and Shino were surprised at how Naruto transformed, as they had never seen him before. He had Mangekyo burning in his eyes and behind him were 4 tails holding katanas. Your genjutsu will be useless against me, Naruto said. And you Shino, you pose no danger, he said. Kurenai-sensei, we have to retreat, said Shino. But Kiba, Kurenai said. It's too late to think anything, Naruto said. He created 3 fireballs and let them hit Kurenai and Shino and created 3 more clones. Kurenai and Shino dodged. If they hit Shino he wouldn't survive. Naruto decided to kill Shino first and ran towards him with 2 clones and 1 ran towards Kurenai. He decided to put a Death God flight tag on Shino and engaged him in close combat. Shino managed to dodge the attacks with kunai and bugbears. But Naruto managed to put the tag on him and retreated. Die in peace, you are already doomed, said Naruto. And why is that? Asked Shino jumping backwards. Naruto used the flight of the Thunder God and headed towards Shino while creating a fireball. Before Shino knew it, a fireball flew towards him and then Naruto threw 2 more. I think you're done, Naruto said. Meanwhile the clone was fighting Kurenai. He didn't use any technique, he just fought. Kiba meanwhile overcame and killed Akamaru, with tears in his eyes. I'm going to kill you damn Naruto, Kiba shouted. Naruto decided to finish him off quickly and created 5 more clones. All of them, including Naruto, were in fox mode. They surrounded Kiba and attacked at the same time. Kiba fell to the ground and didn't move. Kurenai on the other hand was able to overpower Naruto's clone and saw that Shino and Kiba were dead. She fell to her knees and her tears began to flow. She only blamed herself for their deaths. Naruto himself, there are more shinobi approaching us, said Neji. I understand, now let's go, Naruto said. I understand, said Neji. And you, I will let you live, you will live and remember them, said Naruto. Why did you do that? Cried Kurenai with tears and trembling in her voice. I warned you what would happen if you went into battle with me, Naruto said. Kill me, Kurenai said. No, if you want to kill yourself and we'll leave, said Naruto. But I can't live with myself, Kurenai shouted. Good luck to you, Naruto said with a smile. Afterwards, he and Neji set off on their journey. Neji didn't know where they were going and just followed Naruto. After a few more minutes the teams arrived at Kurenai. They saw the dead genin and the girl crying. They didn't say anything and just took Kurenai, with the genin and headed to the village. I didn't think it would come to this, Kakashi said to himself. They moved for another 10 minutes and Kakashi asked a question. Where is Neji? Kakashi asked. He is not among them. He said. He left with Naruto. Kurenai said. I see, but why? Kakashi asked. He didn't really say anything. Kurenai said. 10 minutes later they arrived at the Hokage's office. Kurenai told everything that had happened. Sometimes she was in tears. The Hokage realized everything and ordered to declare those as renegades and ordered all the search teams to return to the village. He decided to call off the search and meet to consider what to do next. Naruto and Neji continued on their way without anyone getting in their way. Naruto himself, where are we going? Neji asked. We're heading towards the fog. Naruto said. Do you have any business there? Neji asked. No, we will reside there now. I just didn't inform them that you would be with me. I will have to convince them to let you stay in their village. Naruto said. They continued on their way without a word. 4 hours later they arrived at the village. In Konoha the council of all the clans and elders had already gathered. Hiruzen reported everything he had been told. How come Neji went with him? Hiashi shouted. Calm down Hiashi, apparently he was able to subdue him. Said Fugaku. Shikaku, what are your suggestions on how to proceed? Hiruzen asked. I'm thinking about it, let's invite Kurenai here. Shikaku said. What is she needed for? Inoichi asked. She was there and saw everything. Said Shikaku. I agree, she will give us more information. Said Fugaku. Okay, now I will send an Anbu for her. Said Hiruzen. 5 minutes later Kurenai came in. She was embarrassed in front of the clan leaders for the death of those genin. Kurenai, come and sit down. Hiruzen said. Okay. Kurenai said. She sat down at the table next to Shikaku. Can you tell us everything as it happened? Shikaku asked. Yes I can. Kurenai said. She started telling everything from the beginning and after 5 minutes she finished the story. So it was already going in a certain direction. Shikaku said to herself. She just defeated the clone. Fugaku thought to himself. Shikaku, what can you say? Hiruzen asked. I think he was already headed in a certain direction and I think he will be taken by another village that he made arrangements with beforehand. And Neji went with him since he has been serving him for a long time. Shikaku said. But how is that possible? Hiashi asked. I think it's some kind of seal. Shikaku said. That's believable, he is also from the Uzumaki clan. Said Fugaku. I see. Said Hiruzen. What should we do? He asked. The most important thing is to know which village he has escaped to. Besides he may want to destroy the village, as I said some time ago, so we should prepare for a battle. Shikaku said. I agree with Shikaku. He has always been treated differently from others and blamed for everything. Most of that blame falls on you, the third Hokage. You were the one who uncovered everything Naruto did. Fugaku said in a loud tone. I agree with Fugaku, I've been saying it for a long time, that one day he will leave the village because of you. Shikaku said. How dare you talk to the Hokage like that? The elders shouted. We are just telling the facts. Shikaku said. That's enough, I admit it's my fault, but you must remember who you are talking to. Now, we will do as Shikaku said, we will send a spy to each village and train some more. And now you are free to go. Said the third one, lighting a cigarette. Hi. They all said. They all left and only the Hokage was left in the office. He went back to his usual work. In the village. Meanwhile, in the Akatsuki's lair a meeting is taking place. All the members of the organization are present. What the hell are we doing here? I would rather make an offering to Jashin-sama. Hidan was indignant. Calm down, Hidan, or I'll have to teach you real art, and real art is an explosion. Deidara said with a smile. Hey, calm down. Said Toby. Don't you dare cover my mouth or I will sacrifice you. Said Hidan. What are we all here for? I'd rather go earn some money. said Kakuzu. Calm down everyone, said one of Pain's core. What do you want? Asked Hidan. We will proceed to our main objective. Pain said. Namely, let's start the hunt for the Jinchuriki. Said Zetsu. Do we have information on all the Jinchuriki? Asked Sasori. We have information of almost all the Jinchuriki thanks to Zetsu. The only 9 tails left Konoha, Hidan and Kakuzu will go in search of them. The rest of you come to me and I will give you all the information. Pain said. Why the hell do I have to go looking for that fox? Hidan asked. It is an order, Hidan. Pain said. Oh shit. Hidan said. Will I at least be able to make sacrifices to Jashin-sama? He asked. No, you don't need to draw attention to yourself. Pain said. Fuck, to be sent to find that fox, yet not be able to mow down a couple of idiots for Jashin-sama. And the fellow is obsessed with money. Hidan said. Shut up Hidan, don't be embarrassed. Said Kakuzu. Don't you dare to shut me up, you think you have a few hearts and now you are indestructible, you bastard. Hidan said. Don't make me angry or you'll run out of tongue. Kakuzu said. Listen to this, I will sacrifice you to Jashin-sama now, he will be very happy with my loot. Hidan said with a smile. We'll see who sacrifices whom. When I kill you, I'll go spin on your head and get some money. Kakuzu said. A man shouldn't give his life for money and those bastards should be killed. Hidan said, still smiling. You are obsessed with sacrifice. Said Kakuzu. Calm down. Said Pain. Hidan and Kakuzu kept quiet. Do you have any questions? Asked Pain. Are we staying as a couple? Asked Sasori. Yes, everyone stays in the same teams. Said Pain. But you can change partners. He said. Deidara, are you satisfied with everything? Asked Sasori. If I can show the art, yes. Said Deidara. Can I take the place of this lunatic? Said Hidan. No, you will be such a team. Pain said. Oh shit. Said Hidan. If there are no more questions, come to see me in 15 minutes, I will give you all the information about the Jinchuriki. I hope you all can complete your tasks, it is very important for our organization. Said Pain. Well, let's go Hidan. Said Kakuzu. Let's go, but don't bother me with your money. Said Hidan. And so ended the meeting at the Akatsuki organization. Hidan and Kakuzu went first to the stone. The rest of the members on the other hand went to where Pain directed them. Naruto and Neji decided to enter through the main gate, but they reincarnated into normal people so as not to attract attention. Naruto transformed into an old man and Neji into a little boy and they walked towards the door. The guards stopped them before they entered. Why did you come to the village? One of the guards asked. My grandson and I came to visit our relatives and friends. Naruto said. But we haven't seen you here before. Said the guard. It's just that we have never been here before and this is the first time we decided to visit this village. Said Naruto. Grandfather, is everything all right? Asked Neji. Yes, everything is fine. Said Naruto. Good, you can give your passes to the other villages now. Said the guard. Yes, of course. Said Naruto. He took out his passes and showed it to the guard. Okay, you can go in. Said the guard. Okay. Naruto said. They entered the village and headed to Tsunade's house. Naruto decided to stop by Mei's house later. After 10 minutes of searching they arrived at the right address. Naruto knocked on the door and Tsunade opened. Elder, what do you need? Tsunade asked. Tsunade, it's me. Naruto said. Old man, are you delirious? Tsunade asked, preparing to close the door. Naruto reincarnated again. Naruto. Tsunade asked. Yes, it's me. May we come in? Naruto asked with a smile. Of course, come in. Tsunade said. They entered the living room where Shizune was talking to Haku, sitting on the couch. Hello Naruto, you too. Said Haku kneeling down. Haku, don't do that. Said Naruto. Have a seat. Tsunade said. So, have you escaped yet? Shizune asked. Yes, I made a deal with a person and he helped me. Said Naruto. And who is the one with you? Tsunade asked. He is Neji Hyuga, I met him when I went to your house and took him with me. Naruto said. And his team? Tsunade asked. Obviously he was not alone. She said. Well, I had to beat them up a bit, but I warned them to stay out of it. Naruto said. Are they all dead? Shizune asked. No, only 2. Said Naruto. Well, we told you not to draw attention to yourself. Said Tsunade. And besides taking Hyuga, he killed 2 people. Now we will have to explain everything to Mizukage and ask him to leave it here. Said Tsunade. Well, to be honest, he also kidnapped one of the Uchiha and the heiress of the Hyuga clan. Naruto said. You are a fool. Said Tsunade. Where are they? Shizune asked. I gave them to the man who helped me. Naruto said. You could have teleported yourself here. Tsunade said angrily. Let's just say I had my reasons. Naruto said. But now the Mizukage will have a hard time making a decision. You know how the elders and clan leaders might react. You could say that with this you have put us in an awkward position. Tsunade said. Yes Naruto, you should have thought about us. Said Shizune. Don't worry, we will help the village if there is a war. Said Naruto. Naruto, let's go see the Mizukage. Said Tsunade. Okay, let's go. Said Naruto. Is Neji coming with you? Asked Shizune. No, he stays here. Tsunade said. Well, Neji stay here and meet everyone. Naruto said. Hi, Naruto yourself. Said Neji. Tsunade dragged Naruto to Mei to explain everything by himself. Naruto, is he under your control too? Tsunade asked angrily. Yes, he has been under my control for a long time. I also have 3 Anbu in Konoha. Naruto said. But when did you manage to subdue the Anbu? Tsunade asked. When I learned the seal. Naruto said. 5 minutes later they arrived at the Mizukage's office. Tsunade entered without knocking. Tsunade, why did you enter without knocking and who is with you? Mei asked. This is Naruto, he came to our village today. Said Tsunade. Naruto, you have changed a lot. Said Mei blushing a little. Mei, is that you? Asked Naruto also blushing. For you it's the Mizukage herself, not Mei. Tsunade said in an angry voice. Mei quickly came to her senses and became serious. Tsunade, why are you so angry? Mei asked. Naruto is going to tell you everything now. Tsunade said. Right Naruto? She asked. Okay, I'll tell you everything. Said Naruto looking at Mei. Okay, I'm ready to listen to you. Mei said. Naruto started to tell everything from the beginning of the escape, but he didn't say anything about Orochimaru. I see, what kind of person was he? Mei asked. Do you really care about that? Naruto asked. Yes, I wonder what kind of person he was. Mei said. I think I have an idea. Tsunade said. It's Orochimaru. Said Naruto. Just what I thought. Tsunade said. She was not pleased to hear that Naruto had dealings with Orochimaru, but said nothing. So what did you and him agree on? Mei asked in a serious voice. I ask again. Naruto said. Do you really care? Naruto asked. Yes it does. After all, you will now protect this village and be the Mizukage's personal bodyguard. Mei said. Right, well, I signed up for that too. Now he and I are partners, we share a common goal. Naruto said. Is that goal to destroy Konoha? Tsunade asked. Yes, that's exactly the goal. Naruto said. As I promised you, I accept you into the village, regardless of all the nuances. Your partner too, but you will have to present yourself at the clan leaders meeting and if they demand it, you will have to show your strength. Mei said. Thanks to yourself Mei. Said Naruto. Just Mei, I think there will be wars soon. Said Mei. Everything is possible. Said Naruto. Well, then you are free to go. When there is a meeting I will call you. Mei said. Okay. Said Naruto. Well, let's go inside. Said Tsunade. Thus ended the meeting of Naruto and Mei. Tsunade and he went inside the house. Chronicles. After a while Tsunade and Naruto arrived at the house. During the ride Tsunade had calmed down and was glad that everything went well, but she didn't say anything. Once inside the house, they saw Shizune and Haku having a nice conversation with Neji. Seeing them, they were silent. How did it go? Shizune asked. Fine. Tsunade said. Mei approved of his staying in the village. Said Naruto. Yes, only tomorrow you will have to try harder. Said Tsunade. What do you mean, try harder? Asked Shizune. Naruto, do you need help too? Haku and Neji asked in unison. I can manage on my own. I just need to convince myself that our stay will be good for the village. Naruto said. If words can't do it, we'll have to prove it by force. He added. Yes, just don't ruin it. Tsunade said with a smile. I think it will be easy. Naruto said. So you will attend the meeting? Shizune asked. That's right. Said Naruto. Naruto, can Konoha send someone to find out where you are? Asked Tsunade. They probably will, they might want to bring us back. Naruto said. I see. Said Tsunade. And you think you will be able to face the village? Tsunade asked. Well, against the whole village I can't, but against strong Jonin I can. Said Naruto. I see, said Tsunade. About you Neji and Haku, from tomorrow you start training. You are not very strong at the moment, and we will start with just physical training first, and techniques later. Naruto said. Hi, Naruto himself. They said in unison. But now we have another problem and it's much bigger. Said Naruto. And what is that? Tsunade asked. The Akatsuki criminal organization, Orochimaru and Jiraiya told me about it. Naruto said. But why didn't you say anything to Mei? Tsunade asked. Why bother her today? Tomorrow there will be a meeting and I will tell her there. Naruto said. But what danger did they bring? Shizune asked. Maybe they will start gathering Jinchuriki soon. Naruto said. But what did they need them for? Tsunade asked. I don't know exactly, but obviously for some reason. Maybe they will start a war too. Naruto said. But what makes you think that? Shizune asked. Well, what else are the Jinchuriki good for? Tsunade asked. That's your problem. Said Naruto. What do you mean by that? Tsunade asked. The ones upstairs treat them like a weapon and the others like a monster. Naruto said. But what does it matter now? Shizune asked. Yes, it is that there are few people to protect them and they will most likely be kidnapped. Naruto said. I see where you're going with this. Tsunade asked. And what are you going to do? Shizune asked. I will have to destroy this organization. Naruto said. And that is your goal more important than destroying Konoha? Tsunade asked with interest. Yes, that is my main goal right now. Naruto said. But why is that? Asked Shizune. Mostly because of the promise. Naruto said. Just because of that? Tsunade asked surprised. Yes, this promise is very important for the future, specifically I need to kill a person over there. When I kill him I will probably get even more power than I have now. Naruto said. And to whom did you promise? Tsunade asked. I promised the fox. Naruto said. A nine-tailed fox. Shizune shouted questioningly. It just wants to possess your body and now it only manipulates you. Tsunade said aloud. I know, but we have to see what happens, don't we? Naruto said with a smile. Don't trust him too much. Tsunade said. Shizune nodded her head. The fox heard everything, because Naruto opened the cage. I'm like a demon to them. Kurama said. Oh come on, nothing bad happened. Said Naruto. They were talking for an hour or so. That's it, time to go. Said Tsunade. That's all right. Naruto said. Neji and Haku just nodded and went to their room. Shizune went to the kitchen and Naruto and Tsunade were left alone in the room. Tsunade. Naruto said. What do you want Naruto? Asked Tsunade. You're not going to leave me are you? Naruto asked. Of course not, said Tsunade. And why would I leave you? Tsunade asked with a smile. I just wanted to make sure. Naruto said blushing a little. Then he immediately turned around and went to his room and Tsunade just smiled. Thus ended Naruto's first day in the village. From Konoha at that time a spy had already traveled to the village, he planned to arrive in a day and a half in the fog. The next day Naruto woke up and went to the living room. Everyone had been awake for a while and Naruto had not woken up. Sitting in the living room were Neji and Haku. Where are Tsunade and Shizune? Naruto asked. Naruto himself, they went shopping. Haku said. Okay, then take this sheet and go practice. Naruto said. He took out his old training sheet and gave it to Neji. Hi, Naruto himself. They said in unison. Well, I'm going to go see the Mizukage. Naruto thought. He had breakfast and headed to Mei's office. When he entered the office he saw Mei sleeping at the desk. She must have been working all night, I'll put her on the couch. Naruto said softly. He walked over and gently picked Mei up in his arms and put her on the couch. He started looking at the papers. I'm the assistant now, I'll tidy up the papers. Naruto said in the same voice. He sorted the rest of the papers in an hour and a half, and after another half hour Mei woke up. Where am I? Asked Mei sleepily. You are in your office, specifically on the couch. Naruto said. Naruto, what are you doing here and why am I on the couch? Mei asked, blushing with embarrassment. I came to your office and you were sleeping. I decided to let you sleep so I tidied up the papers. Naruto said. You could have woken me up. Said Mei the Red One. Oh come on, I am your personal assistant and bodyguard. Said Naruto blushing. It's okay. Said Mei. Why did you come here? She asked. I came to ask what time the meeting would be. Said Naruto. It's in the afternoon, I would have called you. Mei said. I'm sorry, but I helped you. You could have thanked me. Said Naruto blushing a little. I'm sorry, and it's your responsibility. Said Mei also blushing. It's okay, it's okay. Naruto said with a smile. Did you want something else? Mei asked. I would like to ask for scrolls with techniques or masters for Haku and Neji. Naruto said. I can give you teachers later. Mei said. Thank you. Said Naruto. Can we go for a walk? Naruto asked, lowering his head. But I have work. Said Mei. Well, I've already done everything, sure you can go for a walk. Said Naruto. Okay, I guess I can. Said Mei blushing even more. Okay. Said Naruto. They went for a walk. During the walk Mei showed Naruto the village. She remembered how he showed her the village and the emotions were the same. So they walked until the evening, forgetting about the meeting. Shit, Naruto, we have a meeting. Mei said out loud. That's right, I'm sure they are waiting for us. Said Naruto guiltily. Let's go quickly. Said Mei shouting. They ran to the meeting place and arrived in a minute. Almost everyone was already gathered in the office. They quickly ran into the office. I apologize for our tardiness. Mei said. Why have you gathered us together? Asked one of the elders. I want to give you some important information. Said Mei. Mei started the story from the beginning and told everything she knew. Let's bring them back, shouted one of the clan leaders. We don't want unnecessary problems. Said one of the elders. The others supported them. If they want to attack the village I can protect it, and I will also protect the Mizukage. Naruto said. You are nothing but a brat. Said one of the clan leaders. Don't call me a brat, and you must respect the decision of your Mizukage. And if you want to see my power, you will die in battle. I don't want a fight, I can only show you something. Naruto said threateningly. How dare you talk to me like that? Shouted one of the clan leaders. Boy, don't be impertinent to those who are stronger than you. Said one of the elders. Naruto activated the fox mode. Are you still going to say I'm weak? Asked Naruto. What is this mode? Asked one of the clan leaders in surprise. It's fox mode, I can use all my katanas. Said Naruto. Well, let's say you are not weak. Said one of the clan leaders. But how are you going to take on a whole village? He asked. Naruto started talking about his partner, but didn't say his name. He also said that there was a greater danger and it was worth thinking about. Everyone listened to him attentively and no one interrupted him. During this time Naruto had not gone out of mode, he had simply forgotten about it. Well, let's say it's as you say. Said one of the clan leaders. And what do you propose to do at this moment and how do we negotiate with Konoha? He asked. I propose to do nothing with Konoha for the time being. And in the village start preparing for war. Naruto said. I see, I have no more questions. Let them stay. Said one of the clan leaders. The others said nothing and just nodded in acknowledgement. They were now thinking more about what Naruto had said than about him. Well, I declare the meeting closed. Mei said. Everyone started to leave and Naruto stayed with Mei. Are you going to need help now? Naruto asked. No, for now I don't need anything. You can be free and thanks for helping me with the explanation of the situation. Mei said, blushing slightly. I'm the one who should be thanking you, it's all my fault. Said Naruto. Well, go home. Said Mei, kissing Naruto on the cheek, like the other day. Naruto blushed and used the flight of the Thunder God, ending up in the room. That was how his day ended. Life 1 year later. A year had passed since Naruto's arrival in the mist. In all that time, many things had happened, and one of the main ones was that Konoha began preparing for war with the mist. This was after a spy informed the Hokage that the Jinchuriki was in Kiri. Flashback. Hiruzen was sitting in his office when suddenly there was a knock at the door. Come in, the Hokage said in a tired voice. One of the spies sent to find the Jinchuriki entered the office and knelt down. Hokage himself, I have found out where the Jinchuriki is. He said. Speak. Hiruzen said in a calm voice. He is in the fog, most likely Neji Hyuga is with him. He said. What? Shouted the Hokage questioningly. Weasel, monkey. He said with anger in his voice. 2 Anbu wearing weasel and monkey masks appeared in the office and knelt down. Notify everyone of the urgent meeting. Hiruzen said in an orderly voice. Hi, Hokage himself. Said Anbu in unison and disappeared Shunshin. And you come with me, tell them everything. Said the Hokage. Hi, the Hokage herself. Said that one. 30 minutes later the meeting began, where the spy told everything he had learned. The meeting room was buzzing and there was constant shouting. This lasted about an hour. When everyone calmed down they moved on to the problem. And the result of the meeting was the decision to prepare for war. Some were against it, but most were for it. One of those against was Shikaku, who realized that it would lead to no good. End of flashback. Also most of Akatsuki was annihilated, but they managed to capture 7 Biju. They managed to take a chunk of chakra from the 8-tailed one, but failed to do so with the 9-tailed one. The only ones left alive were Pain, Konan, Tobi, Zetsu and Deidara. They also decided when they would attack the Jinchuriki and it would be a good time. Flashback. In front of Nagato were Tobi and Zetsu. They were all solving a problem in the form of Jinchuriki. There are too few of us to risk it. Nagato said. Yes, you are right and we can't lose anyone right now. Said Tobi. I think there is a solution to our problem. Said Zetsu. What is it? Nagato asked. As we know the Jinchuriki is in the fog and recently there was a meeting in Konoha where I heard that they are starting preparations with Kiri because of the Jinchuriki, which means there will be a war soon. Zetsu said. And when the Jinchuriki is weak we will make our move. Tobi said. Right. He asked. That's right, now we just have to wait and train, if anything we will have to use help. Said Zetsu. What kind of help? Nagato asked. It doesn't matter what kind, as long as it's there. Said Zetsu. I see, then let's split up. Said Tobi and disappeared into the Kamui. Be careful Nagato. Said Zetsu and disappeared, leaving Nagato thoughtful. After that, Konan and Deidara entered the room. What have you decided? Konan asked. Yes, what did you decide? The leader herself. Deidara asked. Now we will train and wait for the right time. Nagato said. I guess you already have a plan. Konan asked. Yes, replied Nagato briefly. Quickly you, the leader herself. Deidara said with a smile. Yes, you're right, now go train. Nagato said. End flashback. Naruto was able to kill Orochimaru with the help of Kabuto, but this had its consequences. He then lost control of Kabuto himself and, with him, Hinata, who followed Kabuto. Flashback. That day, Naruto ordered Kabuto to kill Orochimaru, as he thought he could bring a lot of trouble. After Naruto gave the order, he teleported back to the village. It was night outside. Orochimaru didn't expect it, and his instincts didn't tell him anything or wake him up, so Kabuto could easily kill Orochimaru with a Byakugan. There was no input seal as he didn't think of such a thing. After killing Orochimaru, Kabuto fell to his knees and began to tremble. A cold sweat broke out on him, after which he felt a very intense pain and fainted. Hinata found no one at work and decided to check Orochimaru's room. When she entered, she saw Kabuto lying on the floor and Orochimaru dead on the bed. She immediately went over to Kabuto and started to wake him up. Hinata wanted to know what had happened here and why this had been done. After a couple of minutes, Kabuto woke up and saw Hinata in front of him. You could tell from the look in his eyes that he wanted to know the truth. After realizing everything that had happened, a tear escaped him. "Kabuto, what happened?" Hinata asked nervously. "I killed him," said Kabuto. "But why?" Hinata shouted questioningly, after which tears came to her eyes. "I was subdued and I couldn't do anything. Apparently after killing Orochimaru the seal fell or broke. I can't say for sure what happened, but I will avenge him for it," Kabuto said with a hint of anger. "But who subjugated you?" Hinata asked, rubbing her eyes. "It was Naruto," said Kabuto. "Don't lie, he couldn't have done that," Hinata shouted. "I'm sorry Hinata, but it's true. He should have thought about it right away and transplanted my Byakugan to avoid using you, but apparently he didn't know that the seal could be saved without killing the bearer," said Kabuto with a hint of disappointment. Kabuto said with a note of disappointment. "What are you going to do now?" Hinata asked, crying. "I'm going to take revenge. I know who I can turn to, because they need it too. I'm going to work my body some more and you can help me with that," said Kabuto. "Okay, I'll help you Kabuto," said Hinata. "Okay, then let's go," said Kabuto. "Yes," Hinata said quietly. End flashback. During this year, Mei and Naruto became close friends and started living together. Haku and Neji lived with Tsunade and Shizune. Naruto also became close friends with Kurama and opened his cage. Although he had to meet his godson to open it, they now consider each other friends. Although he doesn't approve of many of Naruto's actions, he supports him and tries to keep him from falling completely into darkness. Although happy now, Kurama had a premonition that something not good was about to happen. Mist knew that Konoha was preparing its troops, so she began to prepare as well. Also during this time, Naruto learned many techniques and made friends with Haku and Neji. In the morning, Naruto is lying in bed and Mei is lying next to him and hugging him. He decided not to wake her up, gave her a kiss on her forehead and went to prepare breakfast. After doing all his chores, he went to the kitchen and started cooking. While he was cooking, the fox woke up. "Well, congratulations," said the fox. "Why are you congratulating me?" Naruto asked. "Your love is pregnant," Kurama said, smiling with satisfaction. "What?" Naruto asked, surprised. "Yes, now you are going to be a daddy, but besides that there is bad news," Kurama said. "Have they already started acting?" Naruto asked. "Yes, look at me, just don't die," growled Kurama. "Well, thanks for everything. It didn't go right the first time, but at least we were okay now," Naruto said with a smile. "Don't talk as if you're already saying goodbye," Kurama said. "Good," said Naruto and closed the mind link. After making breakfast, Naruto went to wake up Mei, but on the way, because of Kurama, he remembered his fun times, which made him smile. After the memory, Naruto shook his head and came back to reality. "Yes, it was a good night they had back then," Kurama said with a smirk. "None of your business and go back to sleep," Naruto shouted to his subconscious and closed the mind link again. Naruto went to wake Mei up. As he approached, he saw Mei sleeping sweetly curled up against a pillow. He didn't even want to wake her, but he had to have a serious conversation with her and he couldn't delay. When he woke Mei up, he felt a great, ominous ki emanating from her, causing a cold sweat to break out all over his body. "Why did you wake me up?" Mei asked menacingly. "Hey, I have a serious conversation," Naruto said, kissing the girl. From such actions, ki immediately disappeared and a smile appeared on Mei's face. "It's okay, you will live today," Mei said, smiling. "Then we'll talk after breakfast," Naruto said, rushing out of the room. 30 minutes later, they were sitting in the living room, and Mei was waiting to see what the conversation would be about. After all, Naruto never lied, which meant it was very important. Naruto was the first to break the silence. "I have two pieces of news and, unfortunately, one of them is bad." Naruto said in a serious tone. Let's go with the bad one. Mei said. Konoha has begun to act. Naruto said. I see, that doesn't surprise me. Mei said with concern in her voice. True, but we need to declare martial law. Naruto said. It will be done, especially we were prepared for it. Said Mei. Let's hope they have no allies. It seems that no one cares about this war except Konoha, and it's all because of me. Naruto said with a hint of sadness in his voice. You're right, but you can't treat people like that. Mei said with a smile. Thanks to you for everything. Said Naruto. What's the good news? Mei asked. Well, actually at this time it might not be appropriate. Naruto said. What's the good news? Mei asked threateningly, letting go of Ki. That you're pregnant. Naruto said quickly. Such news made Mei snap out of the reality of happiness. Are you sure? Mei asked with hope in her voice. Yes, I am 100% sure. Naruto said with a smile. Mei quickly walked up to Naruto and hugged him with all her might. She seemed to forget that there would soon be a war. Naruto only responded to that with a hug as well. You better try to protect me. Mei said with a key. Of course, love. Said Naruto hugging Mei. This idyll didn't last long. There was a knock at the door. Mei walked over and opened the door. Standing in front of her on one knee was an Anbu. Mizukage in person, you have a message from Konoha. Said the Anbu. Okay. Mei said, taking the letter, after which the Anbu disappeared. Opening the letter, she saw what she expected, a declaration of war. After that, she rushed to the residence with Naruto, where she ordered the council to meet. Beginning and end. After this conversation, they immediately convened the council and announced the situation. There was immediate murmuring and whispering in the room. No one wanted to go to war again and lose their loved ones, and then someone asked a question. Why can't we give Naruto back? Asked one of the people present. We can't give him away because, to begin with, he is now a member of our village, who has brought the best doctor and the strongest shinobi to our village. And also, if there is a big possibility that as soon as we give him away, he could be subjugated and used against our village and more people could die or the village would cease to exist. Mei said in a serious tone. After these words, everyone remained silent, as the Mizukage's words were quite logical, and therefore no longer offered such an option. 10 minutes later, a masked shinobi entered the room and handed over a scroll with information about the enemy. Taking the scroll, Mei began to read and study the papers. After a while she finished this process and everyone was left waiting for some information. What does it say? One of the elders asked. They have brought us information about the enemy. According to the intelligence services, there are about 24,000 of them. Mei said. And what else? Asked the same elder. They will attack from 3 flanks. One of the squads will attack from the front. According to intelligence reports, there are about 8,000. The other will attack the left flank. They are about 9,000, and the last squad will attack the right flank. They are about 7,000, but they sent the Uchiha there. Mei said in a calm voice. She didn't want to show her anxiety. I see, we are outnumbered. And we haven't heard anything from Akatsuki. Said the elder. There was complete silence for the next 10 minutes, everyone pondering what would happen next. The silence was interrupted by Naruto. Okay, listen up. Naruto said, and then everyone turned their attention to him. We are 18,000, yes, they are less than the enemy, but we have a slight advantage. That is why I offer you this option. Naruto said, and then fell silent, thinking it over again. Tell me your plan. One could not stand it and shouted it out. It could work, give me a map for more details. Naruto said. After that, a map of the area was brought into the room and Naruto started telling his plan. Well, they have about a day to get there before us. We will take the battle close to the village. Yes, it can be dangerous, but that's why we will set traps. We will also have 3 squads. We will have a 7,000-man squad on the left flank, with Shizune as chief medic and Neji Hyuga as commander. Then on the right flank we'll have a 7,000-man squad, with Hakuyuki in command. And then there is the front. The shinobi we have left will be 4,000, I will be the commander and Tsunade Senju will be with us. Naruto said confidently. But they can break through such a small group. Said one of the analysts. You are right, but you forget that we will put traps and seals everywhere. If there are still no questions, I'm ready to tell you what it will be and the meaning of each squad. Naruto said, preparing to continue. Everyone kept silent and waited for the plan to continue. Some did not understand why there were so few people in the center. Good, then I will continue. I will start with the center that you are so interested in. My squadron's task will be containment. We will not attack, but we will counterattack, plus there will be two halves. One will be in front with me and 3,500 shinobi, and behind will be the middle part with Tsunade Senju. With the traps, I hope to hold out long enough to understand the situation. We will not attack by any means, and will only counterattack when some unit can break through and break the enemy unit. Yes, it will be difficult, but I will do my best to save as many people as possible, while Tsunade will also help. Naruto said. I see, so you hope to hold out until one of the squads breaks through. Repeated one of the strategists. So, are you sure that one of the squads will be able to break through? He asked. Maybe, but there is a good chance that one of them will break through the shinobi's right flank. Naruto said calmly. What do you mean? He asked. Now you will understand everything. If you don't mind, I will continue with my story. Naruto said. All right. He said. Let's talk about the left flank. There will be 7,000 shinobi there. As in all flanks, there will be traps placed there. This squad will be divided into three. The first one will be a deterrent and will wait for the other two. It will have 5,000 people in Neji Hyuga. The other two squads of 1,000 men will leave from the rear in two directions, left and right. That way I plan for them to attack from three flanks. I don't think they will wait, they will go from the front because they know they have an advantage. But we'll attack that unit from three flanks, so we'll force them to split up and trap them. I'm counting on them to break the enemy. Again, the central one will wait for the remaining two to surround the enemy, then they will have to split up and counterattack from three flanks, which will help us win. Naruto said. So you expect a squad of 7,000 to destroy a squad of 9,000? Asked the analyst. Yes, even if we are outnumbered, we are almost equal in skill. Especially, there will be traps set in the field and these two small squads will lure them there. Naruto said. If everything is as you say, there is a chance that everything will go well. Said the analyst. What about the right flank, where the Uchiha and the same number of men will be? They have a clear advantage. Said the strategist. That's true, but you have to keep in mind that the Uchiha clan is not happy with the village's attitude towards the clan. They're being squeezed out, and when I lived in the village they wanted to slaughter them, but I managed to calm them down, so I saved the clan. They are also bitter at the top, especially because Danzo killed Uchiha and took their eyes, and I also wanted to take their eyes with the strongest genjutsu, but even here I helped them. So there is a big chance that they will help us, that way they can pay me back and straighten out the ones at the top. Naruto said. But that's not all, is it? He asked. Yes, according to my information, many people don't want to participate in the war, because many remember the horror of the war. If the Uchiha side with us and stage a coup, the war will soon be over and we will have an ally. Naruto said. And you're not stupid, but how will our squad act? He asked. We will take risks and trust the Uchiha. We will attack. Our squad will split into two halves and attack from both sides. If the Uchiha support my idea, they'll attack from the rear, which will send their spirits plummeting. But there may be those who support the Uchiha, and ordinary citizens will be told that the Hokage died during the war and appointed his successor. And at the expense of attacking and rebelling, they will send people from the center, to the right flank. If the left flank can win, they will go straight to the center, then we will act. And then there is a great risk that they will surrender. And the most important task will be to destroy the Hokage. Naruto said. If the Uchiha go against their own, how will the other shinobi react? They will consider them traitors and will not follow them. He said. To do that, we will let people into their units who will look for those who don't want to fight and those will lure them to the Uchiha's side, who will be forced to fight by force, which can also sap the spirit of the army. Naruto said. I understand what you're saying, it could work. The important thing is that everything goes as planned. I hope you'll be able to negotiate with the Uchiha. He said. Do you all agree with this plan? Naruto asked. To that, everyone just nodded their heads. Good, Mizukage will stay in the village, she will protect the village if something happens. Naruto said. Now gather all the shinobi and warn them of everything and introduce them to the commanders, I will go with the Uchiha. Said Naruto very serious. Okay, said Mei. Also here are all the trap seals. Said Naruto taking out some sealing scrolls. Gather some troops to place the seals, do it immediately. Naruto said and then disappeared. Mei on her part went to the square, but first she warned Neji and Haku. After that she gathered all the people and started to give a speech that raised the spirit of the shinobi and introduced the squad leaders. Then all the shinobi went to prepare for war, they were given 10 hours to do so. Then all the squads were placed in their positions, everyone had already been explained the information about the tactics of the battle and the importance of the squad. They began to wait for the enemies, but Naruto still did not arrive. In a matter of hours Naruto was able to sneak up to the Uchiha clan's squadron. As he approached them, he headed straight for the clan leader. At that time all the squads were on break, so Naruto made his way to where Fugaku was. Once there, he entered, but to his surprise he was already there waiting for him. In the tent were Shisui, Itachi and Fugaku. Come in and sit down, we have been waiting for you. Fugaku said calmly. Taking a seat on a chair, Naruto began to think about what he would say at that moment. Hello, I apologize for everything I've done to your clan. But now I'm here because of the war. As I know you and many people don't want to participate in it and simply have no other choice. Naruto said seriously. Let's say that's true, but why are you here? And it all started because of you. Said Fugaku. I understand the seriousness of the situation. But I think I have a very interesting proposal for you, which may interest you and I think it can be supported by many people. Said Naruto. Okay, I will listen to you. Said Fugaku. Shisui and Itachi were sitting silently at that moment. After saying that, Naruto started to tell everything he said in the meeting in a fog. He also found out that Shikaku didn't participate in the attack tactics because he thinks it's not wise to do so. I understand his idea. But what if things don't go as you plan? Fugaku asked with interest. Then your clan will most likely be destroyed, but we will help you in any way we can. Naruto said. I see. Shisui, Itachi, what do you think? Fugaku asked. We can give it a try. After all, nothing has changed since then. Only the Uchiha have stopped disappearing, but they still treat us the same, sometimes even worse than before. Itachi said. I agree to try too, especially I owe my life to Naruto. Shisui said. Okay, then when you see that Haku's squadron started to act, join the fight. Naruto said. Okay, in the meantime we will let people cause confusion when we make our move. Behind you is Hiruzen, you have to kill him any way you can or it won't work. Said Fugaku. I know and I will do my best to make it happen. Said Naruto. After that Naruto walked out of the Uchiha camp and into the fog. It also took him a couple of hours to get there and all he had to do was wait. When he arrived back at the village, he immediately gave the information about the Uchiha. Afterwards, he went to his squad and began to prepare for battle. All the squads were already standing on their ears waiting for the enemy. The Konoha squads arrived in the morning, sensing this they all began to wake up and check their equipment. They began to wait for the enemy to act according to the assigned strategy. The Akatsuki shinobi stayed for about an hour more before advancing. As Naruto expected they acted in a direct manner. Soon the central squad led by Hiruzen Sarutobi began to approach them. At that moment, Haku's squad began to attack the enemy, trapping them. Seeing such actions the Uchiha attacked the squad from behind. At the same time, Neji's squad began to execute their strategy. They also began to spread information about what had happened and why it had happened, which also caused tempers to drop. Sarutobi sent to this 3,000 shinobi to the flank where the Uchiha were. Seeing such actions, Naruto ordered the men behind him and Tsunade to join the front line. Sarutobi, without much thought, went after Naruto's squad. They were almost equal in numbers. Sarutobi summoned Enma, who transformed into a staff and entered the battle. Naruto, for his part, activated his Sharingan and began a melee battle, advancing towards Sarutobi to end his life. Along the way he knocked out Shinobi from Konoha. Once he reached the Hokage he immediately erected a barrier so that no one could interfere in their fight. Snotlout, have you come to die? Sarutobi asked with derision. You're the one who's going to die here now. Naruto said coldly. Let's see what you can do, said Sarutobi. After these words, they faced each other in Kenjutsu, where Sarutobi skillfully used the staff, but Naruto was not bad in this direction, and the Sharingan helped a lot, because of which it was possible not to miss hits. After a few minutes, Sarutobi jumped back and created 5 clones and together they went on the attack. At this, Naruto activated his Mangekyo Sharingan and went into Fox mode, which helped him deal with all of Sarutobi's clones, but he used a defensive style and as the fight progressed he threw kunai with the Hiraishin seal. The fight lasted about 5 more minutes, its essence resembling an awkward dance. Sarutobi jumped back and began to bend the seals along with the clones. Goten Darenden no Jutsu, Hiruzen shouted with the clones. And towards Naruto flew 5 attacks of different elements, which during the flight combined into one powerful technique. Naruto, without much thought, approached one of the kunai and began to fold the seals. Kaiten, Gokaku no Jutsu, muttered Naruto. After which a fireball of enormous size flew towards Sarutobi. Hiruzen had time to react to the attack and began to fold the seals. Suiten, Sujinheki, Hiruzen said. After that, a wall of water appeared to meet the fireball and completely destroyed the enemy's attack. A mist appeared on the field and Naruto began to move from side to side to which Hiruzen doubled the seals. Kanshi no Jutsu, shouted Hiruzen. He then began to easily sense Naruto. Naruto went into Biju mode and then created Susanoo. Using a gust of wind, Hiruzen dispelled the fog and after which he saw the form of a Biju in Susanoo's armor in front of him. After seeing this, he realized that he would not be able to prevail, but he entered the battle. After Naruto entered his modes he began to dominate Sarutobi greatly. Sarutobi began to miss many hits. In this fight Naruto wanted to save as much chakra as he could since he was in danger. When Hiruzen fully realized how desperate the situation was he decided to use his last technique and started to fold his seals. Fuinjutsu, Shiki Fujin, shouted Hiruzen. Then, a Shinigami appeared on the battlefield and Naruto went out of his ways. He had spent 1/3 of his chakra reserve during this fight. Shinigami-sama, I ask you to take his soul, as payment you will take mine, Hiruzen said with his last strength. Hello, Shinigami-sama, said Naruto, kneeling down. I am the patron of the Uzumaki clan, so my job is not to kill them, but to help them. And since you called me I'll take your mortal soul, Shinigami said. After that Shinigami took Hiruzen's soul and disappeared. Naruto went to his squad and the news of the Hokage's death began to spread throughout the battlefield. After that, many people began to turn to the Uchiha's side. In the end the Mist Village counted 6,000 shinobi and the Blade counted 10,000 shinobi. Everyone started to gather in the center and began to think that everything had stopped, when the news came that Akatsuki had made his move and his troops of 8,000 Zetsu were coming this way. After that the troops split into 2 halves and headed towards the enemy. While Itachi, Shisui and Naruto headed towards Pain. Arriving at the place where Pain was approximately they saw Madara Uchiha resurrected. I see, Shisui, Itachi, about you Pain and his assistants do your best and I will take care of Madara. Naruto said. Haha, and you kid are going to fight me, well let's dance, said Madara after which he unsealed his scythe and his gunbai. Naruto immediately went into Fox mode and the two collided in their dance. During the fight, they walked away from their allies. They were engrossed in their fight. You're not bad, kid, said Madara, activating the Mangekyo. Neither are you, said Naruto, also activating the Mangekyo. After these actions, the speed of the fight increased and Naruto began to mix styles, which made Madara almost missed some blows at first. While they were fighting in Kenjutsu, Mei came to Naruto's aid, approached from behind and began to bend seals. Yoten, Yokai no Jutsu, Mei shouted. A spot of lava came out of his mouth and headed for Madara, but he realized it in time and activated the Susanoo, which protected its creator. And in a couple of seconds another Susanoo appeared on the field, only smaller in size, as well as 200 white Zetsu. Naruto realized that things were bad and immediately went into all his modes and attacked Madara. At that moment Zetsu started to attack Mei. Since there were too many, Naruto got distracted from the fight with Madara and went towards Mei and started to destroy Zetsu, but his main mistake was forgetting about Madara, who decided to get rid of Mei while she was distracted by Zetsu and flew towards Susanoo to attack Mei. Naruto saw this, but it was too late and he would not have had time to repel the attack, so he went over and took the hit for himself. After that Susanoo Madara's sword pierced through Naruto's Susanoo and stabbed into his stomach, piercing him through and through. Naruto started coughing blood. Not even Kurama's regeneration didn't help. Like I said, you're just a brat, not battle-hardened, who made a grave mistake. Madara said with a mad smile. Mei, seeing this, burst into tears and hugged Naruto. Because he is an Uzumaki, Naruto was still conscious and was about to use the last techniques and doubled the seals. Fuinjutsu. Shiki Fujin, Kuchio's no Jutsu. Naruto shouted with his last strength. After that, Shinigami and 2 battle foxes appeared on the field. Shinigami-sama, please seal this man's soul before he leaves. He is a threat to the world. And you foxes take care of these Zetsu. Naruto said, coughing up blood. The Shinigami decided to comply with this Uzumaki's request. Naruto himself stood up despite what the sobbing Mei was telling him and used his last technique on the crowd of Zetsu. Kaiten, Guka Mekyaku. Naruto shouted and blew up a wall of fire that destroyed all the Zetsu and they fell to the ground. A ragged and exhausted Itachi and Shisui had already arrived at the battle site. All they saw was Naruto's breathless body falling. Mei immediately approached the body and began to hug him tightly and cry. Why? Mei cried out in tears. I'm sorry. Naruto said his last words. With those words Mei began to sob even louder, while Shisui and Itachi just stood in silence, realizing that the one who had once saved their lives had died. And possibly someone who was one of the strongest shinobi. Kurama, I am still alive, but only for a while. You must leave me, and when my son is born, you must be sealed in him. And forgive me for not accepting you right away. Naruto said inside his subconscious, slowly beginning to fade away. Kurama said nothing but came out of the seal, shrinking in size. When he came out he saw the fox, who immediately disappeared. Sorry Mei, we didn't make it in time. Itachi said. No, it was my fault. He told me to stay in the village and he died protecting me. Mei said. A couple of days later there was a general mourning for those who died in the war. Fugaku took over as Hokage and made peace with Bruma. The end.